The Magic Podcast. Hosted by Lloyd Barnes and Craig Petty. Your all-access, behind-the-scenes insight into the current happenings of the magic industry. Where Craig and Lloyd will thrust themselves deep inside your ears every Wednesday to rant, dissect, and give you their raw and unfiltered views on the art of magic. So, lock your door, take out your deck, and brace yourself for the Magic Podcast.
Welcome back to the Magic Podcast with me, Craig Petty.
And I am sick.
You may be sick, but you're the highlight of everyone's convention at the session. You went out. Fuck off. I'm not going to have you with your
No.
depreciating bullshit. No. You got a standing ovation. You were the only lecturer, I think, or maybe one other. Hardly anyone gets a standing ovation at the session. You walked off stage at the session to a standing ovation. As much as I want to call you a tangerine-headed fucktard.
And
The fact is, you went in and you made Andy and Josh your bitch.
no. All right, look. Thank you. Bucket list achieved. Dream shit activated. Let's move on.
No, we're not moving on. This is going to be the session recap. In a few minutes, we're going to recap the whole session, and that includes your lecture and how badly you were shitting it just before you went on stage. And we'll talk about everything because I thought the convention was great. It was one of my favorite sessions. We can talk all about it in a few minutes. But go on.
I was saying the location this year was fucking phenomenal.
Oh, it's amazing.
Phenomenal.
The staff were nice. I mean, that's a big plus. The staff was not ends.
Everything. Yeah, this year really was the best. I don't think anyone would disagree with me because it's not like a biased thing because I was part of it. So I feel like, oh, old special. The location was it was perfect for jamming. Fucking perfect for jamming. Food is good. The rooms are good. Staff were good. And the lecture halls.
There were so many places to go and jam. Like there were so many places and little nooks and crannies that you could sit down and tables that had been laid out. And the place was massive, not just on the upper floor, but the lower floor. Like it pissed all over the red.
Massive, but didn't feel like you were lost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, cause like the last two different locations, the Radisson, is it the Radisson Red or the Radisson? And then the one before that, which I can't remember what it was. Those were cool. Because the Radisson looked nice at a glance, but it was kind of like open as like, I don't know, it just it wasn't comfortable to jam in. And the one before was just a bit dated. Like, you know what I mean? And it was like you were split over two different, you had to go outside of one building and into another. Whereas this one, I don't want them to ever change it. This is the first time since they left Cheltenham. Remember the session in Cheltenham?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
It's the first time since they've left Cheltenham where it's like, oh shit, it's back. Like this is it. Like they've got it now.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, like I've done more jamming and session at this convention than I've ever done before. That I've done since Cheltenham and Gloucester because it was just the location and the setting was right for it. You know what I mean?
It was great. They made it, and the food was nice. It was reasonably priced compared to the Radisson Red. It wasn't overly expensive. If you didn't want to eat there, there's hotels right next to you. You know, and the last night we went over.
I'm so annoyed that the last day we found out that like 15 meters away in the next hotel was that sports bar, which was like straight out of Yellowstone.
Yeah,
half a race car in the thing, a pool table. Literally looked like it was dragged out of Texas. Mm-hmm. All wooden beams, and the food. Oh my god, yeah. That was
and we didn't find that until the last night, unfortunately. But we'll know for next year. I really hope that Josh and Andy keep the place the same. And the hotel rooms are great as well. Just everything was really good about the venue, which is a big deal when you put in a convention together. I think it needs to be, especially something like the session, where their whole reason d'etre, the whole reason to be, is to session. You know, having so many places is.
I got my room upgraded to a executive room or something.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so Josh and Andy booked me for 3 nights from the first day of the convention to the last day of the convention, but I wanted to come in early. So I called up and I added an extra room on, and I don't know what happened in the conversation, but I ended up booking like an executive room by accident or something for the first night. And then I came downstairs in the morning and I had to check out of that room and go into then the normal room. And the lady at the desk was like, "Are you part of the magic convention?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Can you show me a trick?" And I was absolutely bogging. I hadn't had a fucking coffee. My breath was stinking. I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ." So I just started doing magic for her. And she was all like, "Oh," she called her manager over. And then she's like, "You know what? You can stay in that executive suite. You can stay there for the rest of the weekend." And yeah,
the power of magic.
Yeah, it literally was. Like, imagine if it was good magic. They'd give me the penthouse.
All you've got to do is vanish that elephant for her, and I'm sure she'll be like doing cartwheels down the aisle.
Oh, fucking hell. That vanishing elephant thing, it's gonna be the death of me, mate.
It's going to be the death of Kaylee and her sweatshop.
It is gonna be. That's all she'd be panicking about. We sold out in 15 minutes of the vanishing elephant, and then online, it'd be like, ding, 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 ding. And it's going on and on and on and on and on. And she's like, "Lloyd, like, this is a bit like, what are we going to do? What the fuck are we going to do?" So,
shit. I mean, it's a great problem to have in many ways. But, it was the trick of the convention. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's talk about the session. We may as well start with it. We've started talking about it. Let's carry on. So, I may as well talk about the session. So, I was surprised at how many people were there on the Thursday night. There were a lot of people there on the Thursday, which was cool. But obviously it started officially on the Friday. The thing about the session, which some people will love, some people will hate, it very much depends on your point of view. And, it's the exact opposite of Blackpool in that it's not like boom, 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 boom. You go to Blackpool and there's literally every single second of that convention, there's about 12 different things that you could be doing. And if you do this, you're going to miss this and this and this. And then if you go to that, you're going to miss that, that, and that. It's physically impossible. You could literally go to Blackpool and not see people that you wanted to see the entire time because it's so expansive. With the session, there's regular breaks. The lectures are spread out. It's like, well, you got this at 12 o'clock, then you don't have to have anything until 2:30. And it's nice because, again, it depends on your point of view. I know some people love the whole, there's so much to do, at Blackpool thing. But I know a lot of people love the session environment as well. And it's like, well, okay, I've done that lecture. Now I can go over here and I can sit down with these people and session for a while. And because there's not really a dealer hall until the final day, unless you're going swimming or you're using some of the facilities in the hotel, there's nothing else really to do other than to sit down and session, which really kind of, people sometimes go to conventions and they're nervous about sitting down and sessioning with people. This is very conducive to that fact because it kind of encourages you to meet new people. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if
I honestly believe we kind of broached this subject in the past. I know we have, but a lot of they say, right, if you want to have a serious conversation with someone, right, if you want to bring up some life shit, you go for a walk or you go for a drive with them. Because if you sit down face to face, it's really hard to bring up stuff looking in some directly at someone. But when you walk or when you drive, you don't look at each other, and you tend to open up more. It's like a bit of social engineering, and dependent on like other environments, like for example, when you go shopping in Tesco's, there's psychologists, marketing psychologists that work on the design of the layout, or Walmart in America, so that when you come in, you naturally want to gravitate towards the right or the left of the shop, depending on what shop it is. So they figure out what to do, and everything's placed in order to make you want to buy certain things, or to encourage you to buy certain things as you go through and feel more comfortable and at home at a store. And the same is to be said for social gatherings, like group gatherings. If the layout of the room is wrong, you're not encouraged to like collaborate and approach people. If the lighting is wrong, you're not encouraged. I know it sounds ridiculous to think about this, but if everything is just wrong about, like, basically the vibes, as the youth would say, if the vibes are not immaculate, then it doesn't encourage that. And that's what was not right about the Radisson for the last two or 3 years, is that it just didn't have that. Unless you book it and hire it and get magicians in there, you don't know if it's going to work or not. So it didn't have that so much as the year before, but this year it was everything about it was just immaculate.
Yeah, and then some.
Lighting was good. Like the height of the. One thing was a big for me was the different heights of the tables, because a lot of Magic requires either being seated, like coffee shop, like knee-high tables, to tall bar style tables, an open area where you've got things you can rest on and put your props on or not, and it had all of that encompassed in it.
I agree.
And it was really, really good. I know I sound biased because it was a good year for me there, but like, I read like next year, I just pray they stay at that location. It's very, very, very hard to find a different and more improved place.
Completely agree. And you know what? There was so much. One of the things that I love about the session is the best Magic that you're going to see is not in the lecture hall. It's not in the dealer hall. It's out in the tables and, sitting down with people. And your video that you just put up on your YouTube channel just showcases some of the incredible Magic. For anybody that says Magic is in a bad place, for anybody that says, which you hear from time to time, people going, Magic's in a bad place, we're in a terrible part of no, Magic's never been more popular. Magic's never been more exciting. And when you see the people that are conventioneers, not the lecturers, not the dealers, but the people that are paying to be there, showing some of the best Magic that you've ever seen, that shows you how good a situation Magic's in.
Yeah. There was a really simple test for me, a litmus test, which was to see if not so much if Magic's in a golden era, but kind of like encompassing that, because it was not a cheap convention, and it's not the world's cheap. So it was really good rates, in fairness to the hotel. But if Magic was in a bad place, that convention wouldn't sell out, because it's kind of a niche. It's a niche convention in terms of like, you only go serious about Magic, whereas Blackpool, you get the entire color wheel of ability levels and interest levels. But session is like the niche. So like only if you're really interested in Magic do you go. And there were a load of people walking around with name badges on that weren't printed properly. They were blank and they had to write them in Sharpie pen. And the reason for that I found out was because those people were on waiting lists, because they'd sold out so many tickets that the only way you could get a ticket come convention day was if people had to last minute cancel, and they were sending out blasts. So like, hey, if you're on the waiting list, like Joel Anthony I was speaking to, he had a waiting list pass, and he was like, yeah, I got an email that said like, hey, you're on the waiting list, you have like an hour to book your ticket, or it's going to the next person on the list, or something like that. And it was just completely sold out, and into the waiting list as well, which is a fucking amazing.
It's a great situation. It's incredible situation. It really is. Yeah. I mean, you are 100% correct. I mean, I can't remember. Maybe it has, but I can't remember the session being sold out for a while.
I have no idea. I have no idea. But I do know this one was.
Yeah.
Because the Thursday was heaving, man. So, right, the thing that I want to talk about is, what were the best fucking tricks that you saw while jamming, man?
Okay, well, the one that I absolutely loved, and it fooled the absolute hell out of me, not that you'd be surprised, was Thomas Badar's new Blackpool release.
Thomas Bader.
Bader, so
every year he comes to Blackpool with one card trick on a stand, and he just performs it all weekend and fries everyone every single time he does it. Do you want to explain the basic premise of this one?
Yeah, this is the most insane thing I've ever seen. So he has me literally name any card, and there's no ambiguity here. There's no like, oh right, you picked a number card, then let's throw those at nothing like that. It's just like, just name a card. The deck's out in full view from the very, very beginning in a box, and he's like, look, name a card. So I name a card. He then takes the cards out of the box and he says, look, spread through. He doesn't touch them. He's like, spread through, make sure that the cards are all there, make sure all the cards are all different, make sure everything's fine. I'm like, yeah. He's like, great. Put the cards down. And I did. And he's like, now, I don't know if you noticed this, but I had a prediction. And he tells me to read this prediction that's on the box, and it's been there from the very beginning. And the prediction says your card will be, I can't remember what it was, 15 cards down from the top of the deck or something. So, now bearing in mind here, I could have named any card. I look through the deck. It's not a specially printed deck. There's nothing weird going on. He's not touched the deck at all. I've done everything. I then pick up the deck. I deal to the 15th card. or whatever card it was. And when I get to that card, that's my card, the card I freely named at that position. And then Ryland comes along and he's like, "Oh, hello, Thomas. What you got?" And he's like, "I'll show you." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll go away and we'll reset it." And Thomas goes, "No, it's reset." I'm like, "What?" And then Ryland says a completely different fucking card, and the thing works again.
Yeah.
And fried.
To me, I was just like, it was just really, 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 really. Some of Thomas's tricks are complex in plot to an extent. Like, it's like, okay, now that these are separated and all this and the numbers here, and some of them are not. This one was very, very, very elegant and minimal in terms of design.
Very direct.
Name a card. Here's my prediction. There it is.
Yep.
Oh, what the hell? And from what he tells me, because I don't know the method, is that it's like more designed like it's like super easy, like anyone can do it. Apparently.
Yeah.
Not.
I was lucky enough for him to show the method to me, mainly because Ryland kind of worked out part of how it was done. So he showed me the method, and it's bloody amazing.
Is it?
Oh,
do you know? Well, do you want to know the trick that I didn't see the method to?
Go on.
So, do you know Alexander Herman? Not the great. I mean, this one is great, but not the historical magician. The Alexander Herman from Undeniable. You know, is oh god, what's the name of his bloody trick? He wears a beanie like me, but he's way sexier, and he has a trick called Ultimate Free Choice.
Oh yeah. I know the guy.
So he always comes to conventions with his best friend Dustin Grimm, who's just released the Bullet Peak on Vanishing Ink, right? Dustin's like, I think people will think Dustin's a mentalist. I've only ever seen him do like card and coin magic, right? First time I met Dustin Grimm, and he looks a little bit like David Dobrik off YouTube. So he's the one in my video that looks like David Dobrik. He had like the growing pinky in my YouTube video, the little.
Oh yeah.
He's like the nicest guy in the world. I call him my convention husband. He absolutely fucked my world up. Right? This is what he did. Card selected.
Yeah.
Claims it was. No, I digress. First thing he did was take a picture of him, deck of cards in his hand, right? Holding a prediction like this, but with all of us around it. Okay, so all our faces are in it, and his hand is in it, holding the cards. On my phone, Noah gives me my phone back. Okay, then he had us select a card. So in my case, I chose the 4 hearts. I think it wasn't even me that picked it. It was a guy called Dan. He then put a prediction in his pocket. He put the card box on the floor. My phone was in my pocket, and he took one card out of the deck and put it face up. So he had 4 potential places where the card could be, because it could also not be in any of those 4 places.
Yeah.
Right. And then he said, "Okay, guys, you need to decide between yourselves, where do you want the reveal to be? If you say on Lloyd's phone in the photo, it will be in the photo. If you say in the card box, it will be in the card box. Same for the pocket, same for the face-up card in the deck. If you say, wherever place you say it's not, I'll show you what those are. You can look for yourself." So we spent literally a good, I'd say a legitimate 3 to 4 minutes going back and forth, voting, trying to change our minds, thinking about what to do. Eventually, we settled on the card box on the floor. So someone picked the card box up, pulled the card out, and it was the 4 of hearts. Amazing. And then he pulled the card out of his pocket, was not the 4 of hearts. The card face up in the deck was not the 4 of hearts. The photograph in my phone, in my camera roll, which I opened up to look at with no apps, was also not the 4 of hearts. It was the 5 of clubs. And it was that clean, that direct. And then, to make matters worse, I saw someone else earlier, and I was saying, oh yeah, the best trick I saw was Dustin's effect. He was like, oh, I saw it too. I was like, oh shit, what did you pick? What out did you pick? Which reveal said, oh, I picked the phone. And what happened? He said, my card was in the photo on my phone. I was like, what was in the box? Not the card, not in his pocket, not face up. And then I spoke to another person, and they had a different outcome as well. And it was exactly as described. Wherever you choose the outcome, it was the outcome. And wherever and everywhere else where he said it, where he said, okay, if it wasn't. Yeah.
That's not possible.
I know. It was phenomenal.
Wow.
And then our friend Anthony from Norway?
Yeah.
He, on the first night, I was going to bed about midnight. And he was like, hey, Lloyd, can I, I've been working on this thing. Can I show you tomorrow? And I was like, oh man, you ain't sending me to bed with a promise of excellence tomorrow. I need to see it now. It was the worst thing I ever did in my life because I think it was my deck. Doesn't even matter, I don't think, right? He said, cut the cards and memorize the bottom card. Or shuffle them and memorize the bottom card. So I did. He said, then put that packet in the middle of the deck. Okay? Right? And I shuffled the cards.
Okay.
Right? So, and there was no stack. So I shuffled them, no stack. So I did that, cut the cards, looked at a card, put it in. And then he said, where do you think that card is in the deck? So I said, 32. And then I dealt down to 32, and it was exactly that. Normal deck.
What?
And yeah. And the thing that got me about it is that Anthony's a genius, right? He's a super intelligent guy. And he'd been working since the last session. He said, I've been working on this for the last year. And he says to you know who I'm talking about, don't you? Anthony from Norway.
Yeah.
Back to us the first session. He said his wife bought him tickets to go to a magic convention because he found the podcast on Spotify.
Yep.
Hero, right? He's been working on it in isolation. He doesn't jam with magicians. So he said, I've been working on this for a year and wanted to show you. So it wasn't one of those things that it was a luck-based scenario. It was like, oh, we were jamming. It was like, oh, like, let's do this. He had waited to specifically do that trick to me once. And it was 12:30 at night, and I couldn't fucking sleep because I cannot figure it out for the life of me. For the life of me.
Amazing. That sounds amazing.
It was that clean as well, I swear to you.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It was insane.
There.
Oh, and the very first trick I got shown at the convention.
Mm-hmm.
Did you meet the kid called Ibni?
Yeah, I've known him.
Look at Rufio from Hook.
Yeah.
Little 11.
Yeah. Ibni's cool.
Did you see what trick he was going around showing everyone?
My superimposed.
Your trick.
Yeah.
In his hands, I didn't recognize it. It was perfection.
He was doing it brilliantly. I said to him, "You're doing this better than me, man. Like, you're doing this better than me." And he's like, I've met him so many times because he goes to the YMC with Thea and Ryland. And so I've known him and his mom for years. He's like a superstar drummer. Like, he drums all over he travels all over the world drumming.
Yeah, 11 countries he toured last year.
He's incredible, but he's really good at magic as well. And he's just really, really good. But like, he's picked up over the years at conventions pretty much every single trick that I've thought out, and he's a big fan. But superimposed is his favorite, which is great because it's one of those tricks that I released that kind of went under the radar a bit. It wasn't the chop or the atomic deck or, one of the Mirage coin set. It wasn't like one of those ones that just blows up. Everyone talks about it. It was kind of one that almost went under the radar a bit. But the amount of people that I had coming up to the convention and go, do you know where I can get that superimposed trick that kid's showing everybody? Because I'm like, yeah, the penguin. Have they got it here? I want it now.
I absolutely loved it. it's one of those tricks where, yeah, I can imagine it flying under the radar in terms of an online like magic shop release because it's so much better in real life.
Yeah.
So much better. The beats to it, the way it works, the surprise ending. It's a 3 or 4 minute routine with loads of moments of magic, but that's really hard to convey in a trailer.
Yeah.
And the cleanliness of it, seeing it as clean as it is in real life. It was the very first trick I saw of the whole convention. It was literally amazing. I mean, good work, man. Good work.
Thanks, I appreciate it, but it's him that really sold it.
Yeah, dude, you should probably get. I don't think I recorded it. I would do my best to get a video of him performing it. I'd put it up on your socials.
Well, his mom said to me, "Where can we get another one from? Because he's done it so much, it's wearing out." And I'm like, they've got a YMC meeting in 2 weeks' time. So I said, "Look, I'll just give Ryland and Thea another one, and you can have it." And it's the least I can do. So
Ryland was such a highlight of the convention for me because I'm obsessed with magic, but every now and then you need a breather from magic. And in those moments where it was just like magic, he was playing Rocket League, which I love, on his Switch. Is it a Switch? It's a Switch.
It's a Switch too, yeah. You know what's the thing to a lot of people? I get criticized on the internet, shock horror. The amount of people that say, "I forced Ryland into doing magic and all he ever does is magic and he does magic 24/7. He loves magic, but he's a kid. Like, he's got so many other interests other than magic, and a lot of the time...
I've never seen a little boy love his father more than I've seen Ryland with you. Me and Kaylee were talking about on the way home in the car, man. We were like, I pray that my son has that relationship with me as he gets to a teenager. It's incomparable. Honestly, it's beautiful. It's lush. And you are father-son proper, like I don't want my son to grow up being cuddled in cotton wool. You rip on each other, you play fight with each other, and but also like you missed out a big part of the day of the convention because you took him to get some Lego.
Yeah, he was like, he'd just done a gig and he had some gig money and he went, "You know what? I really want Lego." And I was like, "Well, look, there's only a couple of things on. It doesn't matter if we miss them. Let's go and get some Lego." So we just went to the Lego store and got Lego.
Yeah, and he was so happy, man. He was talking about it. He was showing everyone photos all weekend. It was great for him. I bet he had a great convention because he had a bit of everything. Lego. He had some common ground with me because we both like Rocket League and stuff. So
yeah, he had a great time. Boys' weekend. It was fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was really, I could see it, and I think you two were probably closer than ever coming home from it.
Yeah, 100%. Although he was asleep within 5 seconds of being in Nemit's car, I have to say. He was shattered going up.
Good for him, man. It was good to see. That was the thing that I loved most about this convention. So when I went to my first session convention, I was 16 years old.
Wow,
I know, I was 16 years old. And the thing that I did was I sat down on the floor, cross-legged, and I was either 16 or 17. It was the year Tyler Wilson lectured. Mm-hmm. So there was Tyler. I can't remember if these are two different years, but it was Tyler Wilson, and he shaved his back into a 10 of diamonds or something, or his chest. Luke Dancy, Wayne Houchin. There was Alan Ackerman was on the bill. James Brown was on the bill. Not John Allen, what's the other guy from America? Just the castle with a tiny plunger,
Yeah. John Armstrong.
I learned the best salty ever for the biddle trick from him in that year. I don't know if that was the second year though. Anyway, but what happened was I sat down on the floor, cross-legged, little 16-year-old dickhead, didn't know anything, and Alan Ackerman come and sat next to me. A British magician called Chris Williams.
Yes.
Does coin magic and stuff.
Chris Williams runs the Magic Bar Live, but I don't think it would have been him, but it might have been. He's good at coin magic.
Chris Williams and Tyler Wilson come and sat with me. Alan Ackerman was on a chair, and John Armstrong, but I was sat cross-legged on the floor jamming with these guys. Well, I say jamming in the looser sense. They were just blowing my mind. Like things like they were showing me things like the Spellbound change with coins where I'd never even seen it before. So I had no idea how it worked. And then yesterday, Ibni and Kai, the kids, come up to me, and on Sunday even, I'm like, "Can we show you some tricks?" So we were jamming and stuff, and they were doing this thing on the floor. We sat on the floor, we were thingy in, and Kaylee got photos of us sat on the floor jamming. And I was looking back at them and I was like, oh my fucking God. It's like complete full circle moment where 20 years ago, that was the last time I sat cross-legged on the floor doing tricks at a convention. I was like, oh my God, like that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing 20 years ago. Except this time I'm still getting fried because they had this sick thing. So the kids, I don't know how old Kai is. I think he's the same age, close to Ibni. They spread the deck on the floor, took one card, so a long spread, and flicked. There was a breather crimp in the card. They'd learned it from Jason England's lecture. Flicked the card so it spins across the floor and it sticks in the deck. And they were forcing the card. It stuck between. And it was class. Like I was like, I thought I knew it. Yeah, it was. So, but
I tell you what, I'll tell you something.
It's amazing. This year.
Anybody who thinks that the future of magic is not bright should have seen the quality of the young magicians at that event. Absolutely incredible. And I went to there were youth events all the way through the convention, and we went to the one me and Ryland went to. The last one was open to the parents as well, and it was around the corner, and not many people were there. Because obviously it wasn't on the program, but if you had a kid at the convention, you knew it was on. So you weren't there. There's a lot of other people who weren't there, but I was there, and I was watching the whole thing, and it was basically a show by the young magicians at the convention. Everyone came up and did a trick, and Ibni obviously did did my trick. But everybody were Ella Nichols, who's obviously an incredible magician.
And she's so good that she almost doesn't really qualify as the kids category. Do you know what I mean?
No. I was like, what's she doing there? Oh yeah, I suppose she is a young magician. Yeah. But like just seeing the quality of the show and the tricks that they were doing, there was this young magician called Jonty who did just a phenomenal multiple selection with a deck vanish at the end. That was just incredible, and all of them were doing great. And there was that family that came from America.
Oh, Ethan and Haley were the kids.
And Haley was sitting down with me for ages because her favorite trick was game night, which I brought out through Penguin earlier this year. And she was like, can I show it you? Can I get some tips? Can I get some advice? And I was doing that. And yeah.
I recorded a video for their school.
Really?
Because they weren't supposed to have that much time off. And I was like, so I recorded it like, hey, listen, they've flown over to the other side of the world, but they're still being educated. And these life lessons, they'll get more from these few days here in London, England, than they would in your class. I'm really sorry, but it's the truth. Don't be upset with them. Be upset with us.
Mm-hmm. So, that's so cool. That's class.
I'm getting off with the kind of thing.
But I have to give a shout out mainly to Vanishing Ink. I have to give a shout out to Josh and Andy. We give them shit a lot, and they deserve it because like
you said Andy wipes his ass with £50 notes. Like people say they listen to the podcast. I don't believe them. I think, they dip in and out, like, just to see what war we're starting for a laugh with someone. Turns out, yeah,
people do actually listen.
I was doing this in my seat when it came out. Cause we've said some heinous shit. Like, I know what sometimes it's like 8 in the morning. I'm just like, I hate everything. I'm doing this, watching it. And luckily, it was something innocent.
Luckily, because they could have sandbit anything. But
what you saying that Josh sounds like Kermit the Frog?
He fucking does, though, doesn't he? Let's be honest. It's the biggest open thing in magic. It sounds like Kermit the Frog. He's built like a fucking Adonis, and I'm glad he's got one fucking weakness, because if not, he'd be God. But the point remains. We give Andy and Josh a lot of shit, and that's fine, and that's not ever going to change. But I do have to say, I don't think there's many people in the whole of magic that are doing as much to really motivate and push the young magicians forward. Like scholarships. Most of the kids that were there, most of the young magicians were there on a scholarship. I never said this to anybody, but Ryland, I meant to bring Ryland on a scholarship, and I forgot. And I rang Andy, and I was like, I completely forgot about the scholarship. He's like, don't worry about it. Buy a ticket for yourself. Ryland can come along as a guest of me and Josh. Like, and then they had that entire youth room set up. They had like lectures and stuff going on in there all of the time. On the final day, they had this show for everybody, and then afterwards, they were just like, it was Ed that was like helping with that area, and they were like, oh, by the way, well done, you all did a great job. We've bought you pizza, and they just bought like 20 pizzas in, and just everyone sort around jamming.
I did not know about that.
Yeah.
Part of the first youth event.
Yeah, fuck you.
And everyone knows that pizza is like my thing.
Yeah, well, we all had a pizza party and you didn't come.
I think, first of all, that was orchestrated, and everything I said about the good they've done, I said to bad, because that was absolutely disgusting. Because everyone knows I love pizza, and I wasn't invited.
Nope. You didn't have a
Pathetic.
pizza party. But in all seriousness...
And we also had the Mystifying Magic thing, which was another event to encourage and foster women within Magic too.
Yeah.
Because it was so unbalanced in the ratio of men to women, and it just shouldn't be. It's not like, I don't know, I don't think this is controversial to say, but it's not like sports where you're never going to get a woman to run the 100 meters as fast as a man, or weightlifting and stuff like that. This should be completely an even split, right?
And you know, the amount of women that were there. I really wish Thea was there. I really wanted Thea to be there, but like I said to you, she had a gig. So, you know, nothing she could do. But like, it's so encouraging to see, you know, with Thea now really into Magic, it's so encouraging to see how accepted, like, you know, how, not just accepted, but how dominating women in Magic are. You know, it's no longer a, oh, you're a woman in Magic? That's weird.
The thing that reminds me is that, and listen, in general thing about Magic is that in my head, it shouldn't be, but this is where we are. It shouldn't be like she's a female magician. Like, she's a magician.
Yeah.
You're a magician.
Yeah.
You're a magician. You're a magician. You know, it's just like, I feel like it's people who are just really like short-sighted that, you know, try and, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the world we live in. But yeah, things like those events are what's going to help more than anything, you know?
Yeah.
Because someone might have been, say a woman comes to a convention and she's like, yeah, this is just a male chauvinistic environment. I would never encourage another person to come with me, like another woman magician. But I can't speak from what they experienced, but I imagine it was great, right? Katie said it was good this year because she's been to conventions. She came along. I imagine that they enjoyed it more than ever this year because they were, you know, there was literally an event for them.
Yeah.
Probably a first, or one of the first.
And don't forget, it was only about 20 years ago that the Blackpool Magic Convention used to have events on at Blackpool every day, which was women's events. Do you remember that? You go back. Yeah. So when Sarah used to come to the Magic, when Sarah and I first started going to Blackpool, well, I went to Blackpool before Sarah, but when Sarah started coming to Blackpool, there were women's events, and it was like women's event 2 p.m. on Friday, crocheting, women's event Saturday, yeah, how to make a lovely garland and flower arranging. I shit you fucking not. And from that, like 20 years ago to now, where, you know, they've got their own events, they're dominating. It's just great to see, really.
I just think it's to encourage them to bring, because they're like, oh, do you know what? They'll be proud to bring a friend along and get a friend into Magic, and then that's the way it just expand. Me and Katie was like super inspired to come back. She's like, oh, if I was a woman magician, I would like have an act where I would play on the status quo. So I'd have a man come out that's like the Bond type of magician, and everything he does, he fucks up. And then as his assistant, I come in and fix everything for him. Because I was like, well, that's essentially what happens in my life, is that you run this whole shit while I pretend that I'm doing the Lord's work, you know, and it'd be hilarious. But yeah, super, super good. But yeah, Friday we had, I'm trying to think of the order. I didn't manage to get to see all the lectures, in between stuffing my face full of multiple desserts, pizza, steak, racks of ribs and everything. But we started off with Jason England, and now I can say I've officially seen Jason England lecture, which was always a thing, because he's literally, you know, when you hear people say, I saw Marlowe lecture at Tannen's in 87 or whatever, you know, they're like, whoa, like you got to see a living legend on like actually doing the shit that you've heard about. I can tick that off my bucket list. Saw Jason England lecture. He was teaching some fundamentals of like card cheating, but it's really hard to go in, I think, and to start showing everyone. Well, I think he did a good lecture because he did a broad range. He started off with some more fundamental stuff, and then every now and then he'd throw in something like a Greek deal.
Yeah, which
is a bottom deal, but from the second card from bottom. So your bottom deal in the card. So if you want, basically, if the 3 of hearts is on the bottom and you want to deal a king of hearts above it, you can somehow do that. Like, yeah, literally ridiculous. So there was I'm trying to see who came up to Jason England. Do you remember?
I don't.
So I missed this. So this was the Friday session. With
I saw that.
Oh no, I saw this. Sorry, I saw this. It was the other one I missed on the Saturday.
The Laura London thing where she was talking about what happened with the with Sophie something or other, that
Sophie Lloyd.
Yeah,
Great.
that whole like presentation that Laura gave was brilliant. I was tearing up, to be honest, at the end of it. That was just a brilliant presentation.
Well, there was some amazing stuff with that from Gustav Haas, who wrote probably one of my top 5 favorite magic books of all time, which is they got it up here, Psychology of Magic. Yeah, Psychology of Magic, right there on my shelf. They if you have you read it?
No, I haven't.
I challenge you to read that book. Get to the first, I think it's the first or second chapter, where it's talking about just the science of the crosscut force, or the research based on the crosscut force. And I challenge you to not be able to stop yourself from creating an entire new roster of routines, and B, it will completely rewire the way you think about your card magic.
Wow.
I guarantee you, I put money on it. It's fascinating. So to see them speak was good. Alexander Herman gave his talk. Did you see that, his talk there?
No, I didn't.
He did a bank night effect. It was 3 simple lessons about love and hate. Write down what you love, write down what you hate about an effect, change the hates into the loves, and then do it again for the same. And it was like very, very clever minimalist thinking. There was then Johan from France.
Yeah,
from France. He owns the Magic Dream Shop. Did an amazing lottery prediction where you pick.
I love that moment where everybody thought he'd fucked up because he popped the balloon, but then the prediction was the spectator popped the balloon. Something happened that made one of the balloons pop because all the spectators had. Yeah. That's right. They all had balloons that they picked up random, and they were all writing on the balloons something or other, numbers. And so they're all writing on balloons, and then the pink balloon popped, and everyone was laughing in the audience because everyone was like, "Oh God, it's gone wrong on the stage of the session." The balloons popped, and Johan was playing it brilliantly. He was like, and then the prediction was the pink balloon's going to pop, and I'm like, "You motherfucker!"
Yeah,
oh, that's great.
He revealed it was part of the plan, and then Laura London talked about Sophie Lloyd, who famously fooled the Magic Circle into letting her audition. By auditioning as a man when women weren't allowed in, and then she got in, got accepted. When they found out, they kicked her out. There was a phrase that Laura used was deliberate deception, which she thought was brilliant. I do too. And then she disappeared off the face of the earth. And the story was about trying to track down Sophie Lloyd. And I won't tell you what the resolve was.
You need to go and see this lecture, this presentation.
But it was all of but breathtaking shit, like goosebump stuff.
Yeah.
And then from there, we went into the Christian Grace lecture,
mm-hmm.
which was just, I told you, you heard it here first. Foolers after foolers after foolers.
It's what he's done. He's made his name in this community as somebody who can just blow your mind again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
And just give you absolutely no out in terms of how to do what he does. It's next level.
Sometimes in a magic lecture, you see the method and you hear the audience go, whoa. And then sometimes you hear them go, whoa, at the end of the trick because they don't know how the fuck it's done. And that kept happening over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was fucking phenomenal. And I'm trying to race through these because we just have so much ground to cover. I was part of the Young Magicians event from 5 to 6, hosted by Gaia and Giacomo.
Yeah.
And it was Leah Orleans and her stage partner with the I'm going to kick myself for not remembering the name. I'm so sorry. What her name is? Do you know the one who?
I know the one you mean. I can't remember.
With the curly hair.
Yeah.
Chloe Baldwin.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
Yeah, Chloe Baldwin. And they did a Q&A, which was like actually super inspiring. And talking about how many shows they do a year and how they just like power through the way they create and the way they just have confidence to do stuff, which is the stuff that I need to learn, especially if I'm doing more lectures now. So I was like hanging off the edge of every word. Then Ruben Morland was one of them. And he did you're going to lose your mind on this, but so 15 years ago, he released a TNR, piece by piece TNR that had loads of visual phases.
Yeah.
And he apparently doesn't do anything like that anymore because he's like a proper comedy stage magician. But I'd seen more. I was like, oh, nice to meet you, Ruben. I'm a huge fan. Before I said, I loved your TNR that you put out years ago. Somebody else said it to him, and then somebody else had said it to him. So he was like, and then I think Yakima was said to him, will you do that TNR? He's like, I haven't fucking done that since I put it out. And then he went on and just literally did it piece by piece, perfect. And it even has a slow motion visual heel at the end. And he was like, ta-da, and taught it. And it was like, some people have it when it comes to like sleight of hand and dexterity and ability and confidence. It was just like, whoa, you haven't done that in 15 years. And it was probably better live than in the trailer.
Wow.
It was insane. I did the smash deck effect. And then after me was Luke Jamay, who did a Q&A. And he, like, when you hear Luke Jamay talk, it's like you're listening to God.
Yep.
You're just like, and everything. And he said, I hope it's okay for me to share this here. But it's a simple piece of advice, like a throwaway thing. He's like, someone's like, what's your like writing and creative process? And he's like, when I'm writing, I hope he doesn't get annoyed with me to share this because it's such a good tip. He's like, I turn off any spell check or any red squiggles or anything that's going to come up in pop-ups. That when I write and I see those red squiggles, I don't stop in my flow and go back and change it. I just write and write and write and write and write and let it just fall out of me. And then later on through the process where I go back and correct. And it's true. Have you ever written, like, typed on the computer? And how often do you find yourself stopping to go back to correct a spelling? It's constant, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It breaks your rhythm. And he said it's because when you're writing, you're using your creative part of your brain. And when you're editing, you're using your analytical part of your brain. So for him to have to stop and chop and change, go back and forth all the way through that is going to disrupt the entire process.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, like that was one of the things that was worth the convention alone for me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Especially as it wasn't even in the main thing. It was just a throwaway line for the youth event. That's great.
Exactly. And I managed to sneak in because I look so young.
That's because you got a baby face.
Did you see Morton's lecture?
Yes.
What did you think of it, man?
It was fucking incredible.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, it was fucking insane. That's what I mean. I remember last year being a little bit critical of the lectures at this session, and they were good, but they weren't. This year, I think everything delivered. Everything fucking delivered.
Yeah.
And it was either good or it was next level. Like, it was, everybody delivered.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Morton, if you don't know Morton, he's one of only 2 magicians to win FISM back to back.
Yep.
In history.
Think about that. You go win FISM and then you go, fuck it, I'm going to enter again. And didn't he enter into a different category?
No, I think he's going to.
Okay. I bet
I said this in the last episode. He won the comedy category, but he should be going in for the invention category.
Yeah.
And then I missed Taylor. I caught the tail end of Taylor Hughes' show. So
I watched the show. The show was great. Look, there was nothing. It was a perfect example of how you take marketed effects and really make them your own. Because there was stuff in there, and you'd look at it and you'd go, you know what? I know how that's done, or I've seen that marketed before, but he completely turned it on its head, and it was so funny, and there was so many truly, truly, truly wonderful moments that I was looking at, and he did his Rubik's Cube in glass bottle as well that he marketed with Vanishing Ink last year. It was just
that's the bit that I saw at the end. It was amazing, like literally amazing. Yeah, because some people are a bit funny about buying marketed effects and performing them, which I think is so odd to do. It's so odd to criticize about people who buy things and use them.
Yeah,
and yeah, that's a perfect example of it's not about what you purchase or don't purchase. It's about the time you put in. and the thinking that goes on about you as a performer. You know?
Yeah.
It's a strange thing that's been going on lately. Anyway, and then after that was one of my highlights actually, which was the Tiny Girl Big Show.
Yes. I didn't see all of this, but what I saw was great.
And she missed it, and I'm gutted because there was. I just know I was telling her about it because like
everybody was talking about how they were tearing up in this.
Dude, it was hilarious. It was dangerous as fuck, and but like it was just very cleverly scripted and well written. And the best joke came up at the entire convention in that show by an audience member though. She'd visited 48 states in America. Is it how many? I don't know how many states there are. So it's either 50 or 51, isn't it? But she was like, "There's only 2 states in America I haven't visited. Can anybody take a guess of what they are?" And people were guessing. And so the first one I haven't visited is North Dakota. And then she said, "Can anybody guess what the last state in America is that I haven't visited?" And somebody shouted out, "Greenland." And everyone about fucking died in their seats laughing.
That's funny.
Because if you haven't been watching the news, Trump is now trying to own Greenland.
Along with everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the end of day one.
I mean, fuck me. If that becomes the end of day one, that tells you how much. We didn't even discuss Kieran Lefaire's linking ring routine.
Yeah, because he didn't do it. Wait, well, let's just because we were.
Yeah, he mentioned about stuff that we saw that was really fucking cool. Yeah, Saturday. So Saturday.
Start off. I didn't see the Tiny Girl Big Show Impact.
No, I didn't see that.
Which I wanted to see, but I was literally getting breakfast and sorting my life out.
Yep.
Prepping for the. I was prepping. Probably prepped too much for my lecture. Because I finished breakfast and storing everything by about like 2 in the afternoon, and then I picked Kaylee up. So I missed Chris Power, but I was really fortunate enough that I saw Chris Power's lecture fairly recently. So
Chris is amazing. A lot of people were saying to me that were at the convention that I was hanging out with, "Who's Chris Power?" Like a lot of people hadn't heard of Chris Power, maybe because he's not like constantly being talked about. Like, but I mean, anybody who knows.
A lot of people not known if they don't release a product these days.
Yeah.
To other magicians, that is.
But he was amazing.
Well, Chris Powell was pivotal for me because when I did the dry run or warm up version of the lecture at the Magic Circle at the J Day, afterwards he came up and gave me a load of advice that I used for my lecture here, and it was like really pivotal. I saw him. I said, "Oh, Chris, I could genuinely thank you so much for what you said and the advice you give me because I've taken it on board, or I'm trying to take it on board. Use it wisely." In a nutshell, I was asking him, what did you do? I did his card into box, and he did his coins through silk, and he fooled a shitload of people with it.
Yeah, well, he would. The coins through silk is just, it's a perfect example of taking something that's an iconic trick, Michael Lamar's coins through silk, and streamlining it and making it in some ways better. Like it's such an iconic piece. It's beautiful.
Pete McKay, there was more Magic Lab focus groups and other things happening, but I didn't catch the Pete McKay lecture because I had to pick Kaylee up from Terminal 5. Did you catch it?
No, unfortunately, I didn't. That's when I took Ryland swimming.
And that's one of the ones I wanted to watch more than was higher up my list because that's what I was struggling with my lecture was I don't intend on scripting my magic, but organizing some thoughts, and maybe having some like certain points where I deliver a line that I have pre-thought about at certain stages. So I did want to see more on scripting. I unfortunately couldn't make it. But after that, at 4:00 was the moment I have waited decades for. Eric fucking Mead.
He wasn't very good. Let's move on.
In person. I saw him around the convention and I avoided him like the plague because I was shitting my pants. Eric Mead in person. And I was thinking, I'm praying that he just doesn't come on stage and just talk and do questions and answers, because that would piss Lloyd Barnes off. And he delivered, baby. He came in, he's fucking doing fucking mind tricks like the wazoo, dude. And he was teaching them and everything, and it was fucking, oh. Do you see it?
I caught part of it. The problem I had is I had to go out and a couple of lectures, and the reason is
I'm now a better magician than you, because everyone who went to watch his lecture is a better magician for it.
I saw part of it. I wanted to see more. The problem is, it was snowy around the UK on the Saturday, and I had over 200 events going on, and the person who normally covers was ill. So I was getting phone calls from entertainers going, I've just crashed my car. What am I going to do?
Oh, the amount of people was like, why is Craig shouting in a lobby?
Yeah.
But I seen it. You were literally like, you come off a phone call and you were answering another one as it was going off another one, came off, went to come and say, hey, Kaylee at one point, and your phone rang again. We were with Mark Lemon and stuff. Yeah. You were, it was a few hours there when you were stuck.
Yeah, because I was just literally fighting fires and making sure that everyone got their event and everyone was, and I was having to like make phone calls and go, look, this person's crashed on the motorway. Can you get over there and do that? And I'm going to send somebody else over to you. So I was there desperately trying to make sure that everyone got. So there was a couple of moments. Well, on the Saturday, I had to just step away for a while, else it would have been just a nightmare. And unfortunately, part of that was halfway through the 8 Mead lecture, so I didn't get a chance to see him.
Well, I can give you a sort of basic rundown. He did so basically he was performing material from the book as written in the Tim Conover books, and he did the 6 bent coins in glass routine, and then explained it, which was like, wow, holy shit. He did he showed, and he explained why it was so brilliant. It's true. He showed the, I don't know what is it the homing coin? Is that the name of it? Tommy Wonder or soft coins? No, the soft coin. Yes, soft coin. One of them was called, I can't remember the names. I'm really bad at remembering name tricks. Basically 4 silver coins and a copper coin.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So he showed and taught that routine, and he explained and showed how, comparatively to the original, where it like navigated off into a different direction, how in the original you end dirty, and with the version in the book, thanks to the insanely clever routining, it's like physical scripting, you end, you're cleaned up and clean at the end of the effect. And just that like entire sequence there, I don't know, to like a super, and you would have loved it, but to a super nerd like me, it was like that was the gold dust. That was really like the juice of the entire convention for me. It was like that one moment. Then he showed classic like archival footage of Tim Conover performing his version of the Vanishing Cigarette, and then he could show front and back with his hands, which was insane. He showed archival footage with Tim Conover performing his crystal ball reading to a massive lay audience and just destroying everyone. It was like, yeah, but all the way throughout the talk, he was just sprinkling gold dust in. And I think some of it, I was trying to mentally note down as much as I could. And I know I missed a lot. And I think a lot of it went over a lot of people's heads too, including myself. But that should be studied or get the books. But either one, like, yeah, like bucket list shit ticked off for me.
That's amazing.
So I sound excited.
A little bit.
He's got.
Yes, yeah, he is. You know, there's very few true masters in magic left, and he's one of them. 100.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, and I can say I've seen him live.
I can say I saw a few minutes of him live. So
you know, saw half of him live. So near the past, the half that nobody else gets to see.
Yeah.
So then I had to go and get food. So I missed the Lewis Alnado lecture. Did you see that?
No, again, fighting fire. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see that, but I've heard big things about it. I've heard really good things about it.
Did you see the Ruben Moreland show?
Yes.
Talk about unexpected.
This is what I will say. he was doing the show in the evening on the Saturday night. And on the Sunday night, you have one of the biggest and most popular names in Magic, Piff the Magic Dragon, coming along and doing his full Vegas show, bringing his full Vegas show with all the
dead dog and everything.
Dead dog and everything, which we'll talk about.
Just set up on stage saying my parents are dead.
Yep, that was amazing. And Piff,
and he said you're just like your dad.
And Piff was fucking brilliant, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Piff was fucking brilliant, but I think that Ruben stole the show more than stole.
I think Ruben stole the show.
Yeah, he did, and that's.
I don't think Piff could be upset with that either, because there's a reason why Piff was exceptional in his own way, and why people were very lucky to see Piff. I think.
Yeah, and we'll get to that in a minute, but he went against the Las Vegas headliner and stole the show.
It was like Van Halen of Magic meets Superbad. Do you know what I mean? It was it was all unique. I was nearly crying at one point, like legit crying at one point. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like actually, like nearly in tears for a fucking teddy bear. It was the production of it, the audio, the visuals, the quality effects, the comic. He absolutely could. I might be a megastar in the near future. Like actual household name.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
And he fucking should be.
Yeah.
A lot more than so many other entertainers. Period. Like not just magicians or like in general.
Yeah, I agree.
I had no idea he was like that.
Yeah, it surprised a lot of people.
I was blown away. Absolutely blown away. Like, I don't even know where to begin. It was insane, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I don't really want to say too much about it.
Yeah, try not to. It's all him. It's all about it. It was based on like his nerdy sort of style, which is like use tricks with asthma inhalers and EpiPens and not being able to open up a jar of pickles and a stuffed teddy bear. Like I can't say anymore. But it was loud, it was wild, and it was like loads of swearing and vulgarities. And he got Joshua J to say, "I fucked your mom" on stage twice. And it sounded like this. Do it, Craig.
I can't do it. Oh, no.
Do it, Craig.
I fucked your mom. No, that's more like
that was Muddy Jackson. And that would be like, I fucked your son. Josh was more like, I fucked your mom.
It's the one. That's why you need to do this shit, not me.
Fuck your mom. I think we should only be allowed to refer to him as Sexy Josh. Sorry, Sexy Josh.
Well,
goddamn stupid Sexy Josh.
We rip into Andy and he's not sexy. Well, I'm sure certain people find Andy sexy.
I think the problem with Andy is that Andy, in a normal sense, is a handsome man. But you stand anyone next to Joshua J, and you look like a piece of shit.
It's like when I was at high school and the good-looking girls, there was these couple of good-looking girls that hung out with these absolute beautiful, complete and total stunners. And they just didn't look anywhere near as good because when they were with these other two, the four of them used to walk around. It was like, well, okay, you pale in comparison, but you see them on their own and you're just like, wow.
My mum always used to say to me when I was going away, she's like, right, when you go sunbathing, here's my top trick. All right, babe, she'd go, find the fattest person on the beach and sunbathe next to them and you won't look as fat. And that's a good tip. I was like, are you calling me fucking fat, you cunt?
So you're saying that
feels like a proper.
It's famous where Josh and Andy met. They met on a TV show that they were filming together. You're thinking that Josh was thinking, right? Yeah. I can't remember what the TV show was, but they met on the TV show that they were doing together, and that was the start of a beautiful friendship.
Andy was a contestant. Josh was the.
No, they were kids at the time. I can't remember like the age of them. I have heard this.
Island.
Could have been. I reckon they're probably
Hopperfield Island.
Remember, don't fuck kids.
In fairness, there's no accusations of Copperfield fucking kids. We've got to be clear about that.
No, he just went to an island run by a known paedophile. Sex trap.
But he hasn't been accused. You've got to be fair.
No, it's not.
Plenty of nonsense in magic.
Yeah.
Tom Milovich, in case anyone forgot. Moderators in the Magic Cafe, in case people forgot. But not.
Well, they're not nonsense. They're
They're nonce enablers.
Yeah.
But there's only one reason why you protect nonces. A nonce, by the way, to Americans, is the word that British people use for pedos.
Yep.
Profiles.
Magic Cafe, we're looking at you. But back to Andy and Josh, who are those definitely not paedophiles, by the way. How did I make that fucking link?
Oh my god, why has this gone so south?
Don't know. Back to Andy and Josh. Yeah, are you saying that Josh thought in his head when he first met Andy, okay, I'm going to be running a magic company one year. One day I'm going to run a magic company. It's going to be the biggest magic company in the world. I need everyone to recognize how fucking hot I am. So I'm going to pick him. And I'm going to have him as my business partner. That way I'm going to look even hotter. Is that what you're saying? Is that what your beach analogy is saying?
I'm just saying it's just happenstance.
Okay.
That, when I go, people were saying, fucking hell, Lloyd, you look great this weekend. I don't. I was hanging out with you. So we are like Andy and Josh.
Yeah. One of us.
Someone said I look like Johnny Depp. I was like, Johnny Depp. I'd give up. But nothing else. Session live chat show where you made a little cameo appearance.
I wasn't there.
It was a little bit of a light magic. It started off with Andy doing a really light magic roast. He brought up I won't say actually because it wasn't live streamed. So it was a light magic roast. It was a clip of you off this podcast saying, Andy Gladwin wipes his ass with £50 notes. And I was there like a little cuck going, deservedly. And then he brings out a toilet roll of £50 notes. Saying, I don't wipe my ass with £50. It was a great joke. But we can't say what else was there. And then Ruben did an effect. Morton did a piece of magic. Then Leah Orleans somehow managed to do getting spectator to shuffle, to juggle. But the spectator was Andy, and they ended up having a big juggling fight. And then one of the jewels of the crown, one of my magic heroes, greatest friends in magic, genius extraordinaire, human Labrador, social hand grenade, Kieran Johnson took to the stage.
Why do people give him a live mic?
Because he's a maniac. Within 30 seconds, Andy Gladwin was licking his bald head, legitimately. He had 6 hands, people's fingers in total, so 2 pairs of hands inside his fucking mouth. He drunk Morton's piss from a cup that was warm. And at the same time, absolutely destroyed everyone with his back in time dreams routine that I've seen him do for the last 20 years. It's literally watching a genius at work. They say there's a fine line between insanity and genius.
Yep.
Kieran has firmly plopped one bollock either side of that line. Hang on, this is where I live. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's fucking insane. But he would help anyone. I mean, he came up to me and Ryland when we were in the bar, and he said, "Ryland, I know that you do the egg bag." And Ryland was like, "Yeah," because Ryland, that's his signature thing when he's not doing illusions. Every single show does the egg bag. And Ryland was like, "Yeah, I love the egg bag." He's like, "What egg bag do you use?" And Ryland was like, "I use Bizarre de Magia." He's like, "Right, that shit." And Kieran had bought this egg bag that was made out of pure silk, and he'd had
just the best egg bag in the world.
Yeah, and he'd bought 3 of them because he loved them so much. He'd had them custom handmade. He's like, "Look at this egg bag," and he showed this egg bag to Ryland. He's like, "It's pure silk. It's designed specifically for me. It's bigger. It's And Ryland was looking at it, and he's like, "Oh my god, this is like the best egg bag I've ever seen." And Kieran was like, "Yeah, this is one of my spare ones." and I want you to have it. And he just gave the fucking egg bag to Ryland and just said, you can have this egg bag because I know how much you love it. And like, who does that? Like that?
Kieran does, because he's the kindest, most genuine. That's why I call him the human Labrador. But I mean that in terms of, imagine an actual Labrador was at that convention. That is what I mean by Kieran. We saw Joe Barry. We haven't seen Joe Barry for bloody 15 years or a long time. Kieran hasn't seen him for a long time anyway. And Joe Barry's he's great, good laugh, one of the best card magicians in the entire world. But you probably don't even know who he is, because most
Joe Barry, he bought some Alakazam DVDs out.
years ago. But like, he is just he's like the card guy that the card guys go, fucking hell, have you seen Joe Barry? So anyway, he was there, and he's a good laugh. You could have a proper laugh with him as well. But he's kind of like, if you look at him, you think, oh god, he's like a bit of a James Bond type, because he's a massive jiu-jitsu spec and everything. Anyway, Kieran sees him, literally climbed all over him like he was fucking climbing out of a bush, like balls in his face and everything. He said, Joe, I haven't seen you for ages. I was like literally like slobbered all over him. And then we were sat there chatting, and we looked out, it wasn't your hand, Kieran. He just had a fucking giant hand massager on, which was about this big. It looked like a toaster. I thought, I'm just massaging my hands. Like a human Labrador, loveliest guy in the world, but would literally shit on the carpet because he needed to go to the toilet. In the most hilarious way. But do you know what was cool about that? He wasn't supposed to do his show. He'd come to the convention to see me. Like, he'd text me, I'm coming on the Sunday to see you. And then he spoke to you, said, I'm going to come in a day earlier. Andy Glavin saw him. I was like, we have this plan where we're going to do this live show, but we're leaving a spot open, and we're going to just look for someone that we know is good and put them on the spot to perform. And they saw Kieran walk through the fucking door, waggling his little tail. And Andy was like, yeah.
Love you. Yeah. And Kieran was telling me afterwards, because I didn't see it, unfortunately, but he told me afterwards he was so fucking happy because he got the Conover books off Andy Gladwin.
On stage, he's like, they're not even paying me. I paid for my own ticket. I haven't even watched the lecture yet. I want the books in exchange. I held him to it.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Fucking legend.
Hey.
It's worth mentioning very quickly that if you are coming to the podcast live, the official meetup on the Wednesday at Blackpool in the afternoon, we have confirmed with Kieran that he is going to be doing his full regurgitation act live on stage at
Magic and Regurgitation.
The Magic and Regurgitation Act live at the House of Secrets. Which is fucking amazing.
Yeah. We need to start on that. So we have 3. We need to put up a page before we announce all 3. I say all 3. We might have more than 3 lecturers, but we need to put up a page where they can pre-book their tickets and give them hotel details, and then we'll announce the lineups so far as it is.
Yep.
The problem. So 3 people have approached us to do it. 3 giants of magic. My issue that I've been going back through my head, I don't know how to order them. I think we just do it. I don't know whether to do it alphabetically, because each of them is fucking phenomenal.
Yep. I don't know. Next week is going to be all about announcing our convention, as well as our normal talking bollocks and bullshit and stuff. That's what I'm crossing the T's and dotting the I's today. Admin day. We said before, just before we came on, that today's admin day. Like, we've been away all weekend. Monday, I walked into a shitstorm in the office. So I was dealing with that all day. But today, as soon as I've got off the podcast, this is being filmed on the Tuesday. It's my admin day to sort out all of that shit.
Okay. Yeah, because we need to, I think it's going to be, well, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Anyway, so that was Saturday.
Yeah. And then Sunday started with the Lloyd Barnes lecture.
I think what happened after the live show, but yeah, did the lecture, got that ticked off.
No. I'm sorry. Let's just gloss over it too much. Dude, so many people were saying you were the highlights of the good session.
Very kind.
You got a standing ovation. I know how nervous you were. I like 10 minutes before it started, I was like, Kaylee, where is he? She went, he's in the toilet. And Ryland was sitting next to me and standing next to me, and he went, so he's literally shitting himself.
Oh yeah, I was pooing. I was doing a little nervous poo. I was growing a tail.
But everything, like, I fucking loved it, man. Everything that you did, you absolutely fried a room full of magicians with that A-can. You fried them. You killed them.
Oh,
You destroyed them. No, you did. You fucking destroyed them. You destroyed them.
I just wanted to share some stuff. I think a lot of people see me on YouTube and think I don't do anything practical or whatever. I don't know. I just want to, mainly, to be honest with you, man, I was just thinking about, in the least magic cafe way possible, I was thinking about the kids. I'd experienced that. I was really inspired by the youth events that went on. It took me back to when I was a kid. It took me back to like a bad experience I had at a magic club. And so the whole thing was about trying to show some cool magic, trying to get them to think a little bit differently, and trying to, instill some lessons to the other magicians. I say lessons in the looser sense, but trying to give over some information or some thinking that I think has helped with some of my like designs. But more than anything, I wanted to like sort of drive home that like it's completely okay to do your own thing and have fun with creating and share, because that one of the things was like just whatever you work on, even if you hate it, just share it. You don't know how good it is, and how good you guys are. So yeah, did that. I don't want to know. I used to stay on that. Stephen Frayne was sat directly opposite me, who'd come just to see my lecture. So fucking right in front of me. And Rune Clan, Joshua J, Andy Glavin, they were the people like right there. And I wanted to throw up. Like, it was just, at the end I fucking bowed to Rune Clan because it was fucking Rune Clan. Who for reference is one of those magicians that I actively avoid because I get too nervous to talk to. Same with Joshua J. I actively avoid Joshua J as much as I can because I'm really like, because I love all the stuff that he does, and he's just a bit of a god. Only now I can kind of talk to Andy Gladwin even.
Yeah.
Like, and I still like, I like, and when those people like, when I read a message off him or something, I'm like, I have to like stop and think, okay, like, Lloyd, don't be a knob, like be don't to fucking be a human. And they're all sat there. It was but yeah, after that,
I will say two things very quickly about your lecture. Number one, you delivered on the vanishing elephant. Like, there is so much hype. It would have been very easy for people to go, what? Everyone's been talking about that, and that's it. But when you did the trick, I was listening. I was in the audience. Everybody was like, fucking hell. I went over to Tom Stone afterwards, and Tom was like, that's brilliant. Like, everybody thought, I was like, but then you explained it, and you got another cheer, because when you explained it from that angle and you saw the elephant go, everyone was like, oh, fucking hell. It delivered. It fucking delivered. And
I appreciate it.
It's and one of the reasons that I think your lecture was so well received and you got a standing ovation. If there's one criticism that I have of the session, and it's not a criticism because people love this and they know their audience, but if there's one thing, I think sometimes there's a little bit too much, I don't want to say theory, but there's a little bit too much. It's a magic convention, and the whole point of it is everybody's doing magic to each other. The whole point of it is a session, and sometimes I think there's not enough tricks. And sometimes you'll go to lectures, and there's no. But what I absolutely loved about your lecture is it was just trick after trick after trick, and yeah, there was advice peppered in there as well, but you just taught some really fucking cool magic. And
that was kind of the plan, really. Like, every trick had a big message to go. Not message, but every trick had something I specifically wanted to illustrate with it. So some was about making sure you get some was about thinking about how to get your method finished before the trick starts. Some was about just like, oh, with this trick, this wouldn't have existed if I hadn't shared it when even I thought it was bad. This trick was about XYZ and inspiration and all this. So, but I said this to you. I think the reason why, not the reason, but you did so, you got a standing ovation in your session lecture.
Yeah,
I'm sure you did back when it was in the Radisson the year before last. I would have said
about 3 years ago now. Yeah,
was it the summer session as well?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
when it'd been like COVID or something like that.
Yeah, I wasn't even on the bill. Andy called me. I was at the session, and it was the day before the session, and Andy was like, Are you on the way? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, don't suppose you want to do a lecture, do you? I think he'd let down or something. I was like, yeah, fuck it. So that's the only way I would get a gig at a session, when Andy's fucking desperate. Like,
well,
and Andy and Josh are fucking desperate. We haven't got a slot to do. What the fuck are we going to do?
Who's somebody that has tricks falling out their ass, right?
Let's press the nuclear fucking option and get Craig on stage. Are we giving Craig a live mic? Yeah, okay. How's that going to work? Don't worry, we just won't mention Yeagle fucking Masika.
Here goes Operation Fuck Off.
No, yeah, no, it was incredible, and I love the fact that it was trick after trick after trick after trick after trick. It was great.
Well, yeah, but what I was getting to was essentially that was I saw. I'm exactly the same as you. I go to a magic convention, and that's why I love Derek Mead's lecture so much. He delivered so much for me because I love theory as much as the next guy. I really love theory and magic. But he did trick after trick after trick, and my drug of choice is new secrets. Like, to me, like, secret is my currency. Do you know what I mean? I love learning. I also love not learning secrets. As long as I see the fucking trick, you know, I just want to see magic and be inspired and, you know, feel wonder, and then sometimes have that itch scratched as well. In your lecture, you must have done like 20 different tricks. And
yeah, my plan was to just go out and just do as many fucking tricks as I could.
Yeah, and it was the highlight of that year. Do you know, I think back to that year, I can't really remember any other of the lectures because, and maybe even by couldn't be my friend, but I wanted to go to a lecture and I wanted to see and learn a shitload of good magic, and that's what I got from you. And so when I was thinking about doing this, when I got the bat signal from Gladys, me and Gladys, like, we're like that now, basically.
Yeah, you and him.
I'm already too scared to talk to him. But when I got the bat signal, I was like, well, first thing then it's going to be, I think a lot of magic is going to be something important to do. You know, I took that from you, basically. So I'm already stealing from my best mate.
Well, there you go. There you go. I steal enough from you, so I think it's pretty fucking fair.
Yeah, so after that, I gotta say, I've said it in person, but I cannot emphasize this enough. Mark Elsden saved Kaylee's metaphorical life.
Really?
Yes. Not like she wasn't on a life and death situation. After the lecture, I didn't say I've got anything for sale on the stage. I just walked off. I was like, thanks, bye. After the lecture, I had some Vanishing Elephants, handmade ones for sale, and some lecture notes and packs. And I was at the front, like, talking to people and saying hello, thanks, and all this. Josh J helped me with a credit, which was really helpful, from Milt Court. And Darren came up to me. He's like, Lloyd, I need your phone. Katie needs your phone. I didn't understand what he meant, because people were asking for photos and they couldn't get their phones working. I was like, what? So he was like, oh, fuck off, and ran. And then basically there was just this swarm of people trying to get the stuff, the notes and the elephant trick.
Oh, it was like a fucking old school fucking sale conference run to the back of the room, except you never told anyone to run to the back of the room. They just fucking did. Yeah,
well, this is the thing. I didn't even see it. Everyone told me that Mark Elsden was like an auctioneer or like a guy at a cattle market where he was like, right, you put it in. What? Apparently he was doing like, right, what are you taking? Vanishing Elephant, a Dog Sparrow, lecture pack, put your card down. What do you have there? Put it in. Because there was only one paying machine at the time. And he was just basically going like, you did this, you did that, you did that, put yours there, put that there, put that there, put that there, come back to you, here's your money, and if it wasn't for that, Kaylee would have just crashed and burned. Like, she said over and over again, Mark Elsden saved her completely. Like, that would have just gone to shit.
That's great.
And we sold out in 15 minutes of all the elephants, and then I think we came back with, I want to say, a dozen books, because we left them in the car. And we had like some odd leftover. We took an even amount of lecture packs, which can only go with the books. But whatever. Thanks to everyone that supported me and turned up for the lecture and got up early out of bed. Even Laura London, who was going to go home the night before, booked a room, an extra night, and then and then got up early, which she never fucking does, to come to the lecture. So thanks to everyone. Like, thank you, everyone. Like,
that's actually something worth noting as well. You mentioned Rune Klan. I mentioned Tom Stone, Nicola Arcade. The amount of people that are huge names, that would be highlights, that would be headliners at any other convention, and they're just there. Just bought a ticket. You can just hang out.
This was always the thing of the session, is that you get to be around intimately with the greats of magic. And that's what I think is the USP of the session. And I think the new location is just so good for that.
Yeah.
So I missed the next lecture because I was just, in the minutiae of everything. It was session. It was like a Sunday. So Louis Olmedo.
Yeah, I completely missed that. That was kind of my dealer room time. I went around the dealer room at that point.
Tim Hill, which I really wanted to see as well.
I gotta say, Tim Hill, big shout out to Tim Hill. Vanishing Ink had their dealer booth up the entire time, and he was working it like a pro. And he had his coin thing, which I never actually got the first time round. Have you seen his coin thing? He's got the most amazing coins across the glass. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I went up to him and said it. It was just,
it's just fucking insane. It's just so fucking good. And I was like, Tim, that's just so fucking good. And he was just, and he's so humble, and Tim Hill was amazing. So good.
Yeah, well, he gave me some great advice. We were chatting, just like literally, he was sat in the front row for my lecture, and I was having a little before. And he really helped calm my nerves down, and he just said, like, just imagine, like, that it's just the front row, and he's like, they're magicians, they want to see this stuff and just have fun, and literally, like, actually, like, soothed me before I went on stage. I'm like a child. I was like, oh. So I missed that because it was like 15 minutes after my lecture, so that was right when everything was chaos. And then we went to the Taylor Hughes lecture, which at that point I think I'd just gone to the room to decompress after all the sales and stuff. Did you catch the Taylor Hughes lecture?
I caught most of it. It was very good. Yeah.
What happened in it, man?
It was. I honestly can't really remember it, but I remember liking it. I can't remember that much. I remember very much liking it, though. I was there for the majority of it, and I remember very much liking it. But the problem is, when it's such an intense 3 days like that, it all blurs into one, and I couldn't really tell you one thing that he did. All I can tell you is my feeling when I came out, which was like, that was really good.
Good. Yeah, I don't mean, sometimes I go to a lecture, and if you were to ask me what happened, I'd say I have absolutely no idea. And if you ask me if it was good,
you know what I will say? You know what I will say? And this is probably not the time to have this conversation. And maybe we need to do this on a different video, a different podcast. But I do think the whole concept of lectures is flawed in magic.
Do you?
Right, in a way. And the reason I say that is because Ryland doesn't like going to lectures. He fucking loves magic. He loved your lecture. He doesn't really like going to lectures. And I was having a conversation with him. I went, why not, mate? But I know you love magic and you're constantly learning new magic. He's like, well, I'm sitting there. It's too dark or anything to take notes, so I can't take notes. So if they show me a trick that I really like, there's no way I'm going to be able to remember the method, because it's normally like 5 or 6 phases and blah, 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 blah. Because they want to teach lots of magic, they're rushing through it. And even if they were doing it slowly, I can't write anything down, because I mean, it would look really weird if I was making notes, or I had an iPad up and I was making notes, and I can't film it. And when I come out the lecture, there's no way I'm going to be able to remember it. So if I see something I like, the only way that I'm going to be able to learn it is by buying it. And so I end up just sitting there for an hour, watching a couple of really cool tricks, and then listening to an explanation and thinking, well, this is not going to do anything for me unless I actually spend money on buying the thing afterwards, because I'm never going to remember the intricate points of the trick that they're teaching. And I'm like, you know what, mate? I haven't got an argument for that. I agree with you. Like, you can't learn realistically a lecture. The whole point of it is you sit down and you want to learn this person's tricks. And we've all been, I remember the session a couple of years ago, and I went to see David Stone, and I was a bit disappointed with the lecture. I think I told you at the time, because it was a dealer den.
Oh yeah, I'm so against.
And there was nothing. It was just a date that said, right, this is this. This is the gimmick. This is how it works. You can get in the back of the room. This is this. This is the gimmick. This is how it works. You can get in the back of the room. This is this. This is the gimmick. You can get back to the back of the room. And I've always said, I don't like dealer dems. I actually prefer seeing somebody lecturing on something that I don't have to buy anything.
Yeah.
But then I kind of think to myself, and that's what I've always done. When I do lectures, I'm like, let me show you this thing that you can't buy. You're not going to be able to buy it from me.
I felt bad because my Blackpool lecture was exactly that. I didn't have anything. Everything in my lecture, you could do it there and then. But this one I had the Virgin Elephant, which I kind of felt bad about. But also I think people, I didn't feel too guilty because it was an exciting sort of thing to share.
Yeah.
And I'm with you on the dealer dem stuff. I do have a thought on it, which is, at least with the stuff that I think sometimes it can come down to bad. Not I say it in the loosest terms. But sometimes a lecture will come up and they will show you like a 12-phase coin matrix, and there's no way you can remember the coin matrix. So when I do really do lectures, I try to without being arrogant, but I bet you could probably recall every single method from my lecture.
I can. And one of the things that you did, and I think this is why people liked it so much, is take the Triumph, for example. There's one move.
There's one, that's it.
Move.
I try to keep it. The stuff that we show on there is just one.
If you can remember that one move, you will be able to replicate that immediately. That's a perfect example. But you talk about Eric Mead and how fucking incredible that lecture is. And I know that you got a lot of advice from him. If I told you now to reconstruct any one of those tricks that you saw him teach, would you be able to? Like move for move?
I couldn't. I couldn't. No, I couldn't do it move for move at all. However, I think that sometimes those lectures are absolutely needed.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying as a general rule, if it's a lecture like the sort of lecture I give, where it's like, here's a trick, here's an explanation, here's a trick, here's an explanation, unless you purposefully make every single individual trick like the sort of thing you were doing, which is there's one move, you're going to be able to remember this. You can walk away, grab yourself a deck of cards, you're going to be able to do this immediately. Unless it's like that, if you're teaching, sometimes, I like doing like multi-phase things and things like that. And I like doing, there's no way people are going to remember that.
No. Or lectures come and they do like a 14-phase ambitious card into Triumph, into Sandwich, into then multiple card location. And you're like, mate, there's no point.
It's like Danny D. Ortiz, one of the greatest performers of all time, fries every single audience. I've seen Danny lecture many, many times. I don't think I've ever been able. I don't think I would ever be able to walk away and replicate one of his tricks.
I think one of the things. So one of the ththings to argue back on that, right, on in general, is more for a convention as opposed to a lecturer coming to a club. But in a convention, you literally can't remember everything. And I think the reason for lecture notes existing is that you get to, because the problem with magic inherently is that in terms of the industry is that we are selling products that we're not allowed to tell you about. And you wouldn't go, we're like, okay, for example, if there's a floating thing, okay, it doesn't use elastic thread, doesn't use magnets, doesn't use black art, but it does look like it's floating. Okay, how does it work? Can't tell you that bit. Why are you expecting me to pay £100 for it? And you can tell me everything that it's fucking not. And what the beauty of going to a lecture, at least at a convention, is that they sort of go, right, these are the effects, these are how they work. And then you can go, right, I will do that because I like the method. I can fit that in. Now I can invest and put some time into it. I'll pick up the notes and I can then go home and study. It's like it allows you to be in a place where you can actively see behind the curtain without being fresh, without having to pay for the method first.
Yeah.
But if you book someone to come to your magic club and they just turn up and they just do, a total of 120 phases across 10 different tricks, it's a bit mental,
Yeah.
Either they're doing it to brag or try and show off, or they do it because they want to make sales.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also some people, that's the stuff they do. Hey, this is my working repertoire. What is interesting though is that I can't think of a time where I've thought about how would you change up the status quo of a lecture in general, which I think is crazy interesting. Like imagine, for example, there was everyone had a red paddle or a blue paddle, and it's like, okay, I'm going to show you guys a trick. I'm not offended if a lot of you want to learn how it's done. Hold the green paddle up. If everybody's like, nah, that's not, we kind of get that one, let's move on. Because sometimes you see a lecturer who will show the audience an effect. They'll spend over half an hour teaching it in a 1 hour lecture, and everybody saw her. It's a trick that like everyone in the audience knew. Well, not that it's about just knowing the secret, but they weren't going to glean anything from it at a deeper level, even.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, we've got like 20 minutes left. How many times can you think of magicians that have done that? Like, oh, they spent 45 minutes on the thing that they're already known for. They'll be all learned.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it.
But I've seen that 1,000 times.
So have I. I think it'd be an interesting discussion to see how to change up lectures, how to make it a little bit different, how to, change up the way. It's been done the same way for God knows how long, since the 1920s, 1910s. Somebody comes out, does some tricks, teaches how the tricks works, maybe throw in a bit of theory and a bit of opinion on stuff, and then that's it. End of. Buy some lecture notes if you want. There's got to be a better way of doing it.
I don't know, is there?
I don't know. All I know is everything else has evolved over the years, and that hasn't. That stayed exactly the way.
Ryland came to my... Did Ryland enjoy my lecture?
He fucking was on the edge of his seat.
What I do?
I'm fairly convinced the reason you got a standing ovation is because of Ryland, because he actually was standing up and clapping before you'd even finished, and he was on his chair going, yeah! And everybody was like, oh, look, there's a little special needs kid over there. We better... I don't know.
Oh, my God. Fucking hell. No, I don't know. I think I'm fortunate, right, that I've been to conventions for 20 years. I've seen all over the world as well, like from South Korea to America and fucking Berlin, Philippines and shit. Like, I've seen so much magic, so many conventions, so many lecturers. It's a lot easier to put a lecture together. Basically just copying all the good ideas from other lecturers and looking at what I think is bad about the lecturers and put it together. That's why you did so well, probably, because you've been in the game so long, man. You've learned, you've seen all the good tips, you've learned all the bad habits, and you've just managed to, put it into one lecture. Just keep the good. So I don't know.
I think the other thing is, I think that magicians like to see good fucking magic. I think that if you do a lecture and you perform the trick, and it's a trick that everybody likes, that's why I like lectures where the effect is, look. Let's be honest, there's a million different ambitious cards. And some of the ambitious cards are really freaking clever. And definitely worth publishing and definitely worth teaching. But if I go and see a lecture and the first trick they're going to do is a 5-phase ambitious card routine, I'm not going to be as excited as somebody who's going to come out on stage and just go, right, this is Nelly the elephant. I'm going to fucking vanish little fucker right now. Oh, look, it's in the peanut stand. Like, that's different. That's unique. That's something I've never seen before. And I think that's what you need in a lecture. You need
I'll tell you the one thing that I did put thought into. Josh at the beginning was like, what cameras do you want? Where do you want to be? And everything. And I said, I'm okay. What I want basically is camera on me here the entire time. I don't want the overhead camera. I don't need anything else. And because I thought long and hard about the venue and where I would be seen. So I sometimes see lecturers come up and they do a full card routine sat at a table in a lecture hall, like 400 people all sat at the same height and nobody can see above each other's heads. And then the magician comes up and just does like card magic on a flat surface where the cards are all flat. And no one can really see it. And I've seen magicians do coin magic down at their waist or card magic down at their crotch the entire way through. And when I perform, really, I don't do a lot of, probably more now. I don't do a whole lot of magic that's like this level, because I do close-up stuff. But I made sure that every trick, or almost every trick, was done, was framed here.
Yeah, I did notice that, actually. That was super smart. And the only one that wasn't...
The hole was here. The cards together was here.
Yeah.
the triumph was done in the hands of the spectator who was holding on.
And the only one that wasn't was the elephant. And you went over to another table that was raised up, and you said to them very specifically, "Bring the camera in and get it right on the table."
Yeah, that was by design. All of that was by design because I knew the room. No, I didn't know exactly what the room, but I knew that lecture was essentially going to be people looking sort of up at me.
But you've shot so many
each other.
You shot so many tutorials now, and you've produced so many tricks for other people through the various different companies that you've worked for, and you obviously understand video editing and video and where people need to be able to sit. That's something that you would think of that, frankly, I wouldn't. Every time I go and do a lecture, and somebody's like, "How do you want the camera?" I was like, "If they could see me, I'd bonus." Yeah.
Do you know? I see it as like free praise in a way, in terms of like, I think that, so two things in my lecture that helped possibly people enjoy it for free. Like, by choice of trick positioning, framing, and knowing that a lot of tricks is going to go down well versus 2 hours of theory or something. Like, that's essentially like every single one of us can do that. Like, but I think it helps like elevate what you do to another level. In a sense that, like, I'm not doing it's a completely it's a free level. It's a free way to level up your lecture just by thinking of little tiny details like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Like what I'm saying is, I definitely was not the best magician or lecturer of the weekend. That's a fact. But people may have enjoyed my lecture more from their seat, purely because I may have done more tricks, which everybody wants more tricks, and they could see me.
Yep.
You know, I'm just throwing out things, but so sometimes you just sort of get given praise for stuff which doesn't really deserve praise. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm saying.
It's definitely worth thinking about 100%. And the bottom line is, you got a standing ovation. People fucking loved you.
I feel sick on my insides. I remember thinking about one of the most memorable images I have of the session is Andy Gladwin doing his add a number routine, and he had these cards that were basically ambergram.
Yeah, I remember that.
Cards, and they were big. And he took a card trick, which was like a magic square, I think it is, and he made it like up here. And I always remember it was in session in Cheltenham. I think it was the last year they did it there, and it's one of those little like Polaroid images I have in my head of like, oh, this is that he found the way to make it go from like here to up here. And I always remember thinking that was such an important thing to do when you're lecturing. So I kind of kept that in mind and sort of channeled the Gladders. That's it. That sounds disgusting.
Channel the Gladders.
Anyway,
right. What else did we have up Sunday? We can talk about the dealer hall in a minute, but there was. Can you remember?
So there's 3 more events. There was the PIF Guest of Honor event, which I think it was Q&A, which I skipped over because I wanted to then spend the next few hours in events, which was the Luke Germain lecture, and it finished off then with the PIF show. Did you see the Luke Germain lecture?
No, I was told that he was not very well and he soldered through. He was
sick. He's one of these people, man. It's fucking annoying. He was sick and he crushed it. Like, because Kaylee was sitting next to me, I was like, okay, this lecture is going to be like one of the best. And so he did a performance first of like 30 minutes, I think it was, or 20-minute performance. And she was just like, oh my, like, her jaw was, and it was tailored more to lay people. So I think it really, really worked for Kaylee. Like, I'm a Jermaine fanboy. I struggled to have a conversation with him. Like, he's so up there to me. So me and her were just like the whole way through. And then he started explaining it, and he was a bit off. But he come up and he said, basically, I'm really fucking ill. An hour ago, I wasn't going to do this lecture. And we both sort of looked at each other like, if this is what the guy's like when he's sick. Do you know what I mean? It was like, fuck, there are some people who are just born to be on that stage.
Well, we've talked many times. Luke's the best. He's the best. There's no argument.
It's the voice of God.
Yep.
But he didn't, dude. Ryland should have been there, man. I don't really like the egg bag. The only time I've ever really, I've only time I've seen it done live to lay people was Kieran Johnson's one, and it was fucking astounding. He only does 2 faces, and he had these people eating at the palm of his hand. But Luke did this egg bag routine, which is his, and I was like, I literally watched it with Kaylee, and we were talking about going home. I was like, I would actually consider doing the egg bag for real after seeing his. Like, it is so not my style.
And that's what I love about Luke, you know, he takes the classics of magic. I mean, it's insane that we're talking about Luke.
I guarantee you, you wouldn't have a fucking clue how it was done.
Well, I don't. Like, he took my favorite fucking gimmick, the flipper coin, and fooled me with it. Like, I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. But it's insane to me that we're talking about how he's one of the best living magicians in the world, and he takes classics of magic and he makes them better, when a couple of years ago he was only known as a fucking mentalist. It's like he's like, I remember seeing this film with Golden.
I still think it's actually David Jimay on that stage, which is his evil twin brother, and that he was booked for a mentalism gig, got injured in a car crash, Luke did, and instead they had to send a replacement who was his secret twin brother, who's way better at magic than mentalism. Got way better reactions to his magic, and instead they kept Luke in a coma in intensive care, and that's where he's remained.
That's one theory. My theory is: have you ever seen the film Death Becomes Her? Goldie Hawn and Bruce Willis, and you know, and they're old, aging, fat Hollywood stars that we used to be like fucking amazing, and they do this pact with the devil or something, and now they're young and youthful and talented again. I just think he's done some sort of pact with the devil, and he's like right, okay, fucking, I've done mentalism. I'm the greatest living mentalist in all time. Now I'm just going to fucking immediately, with no fucking effort, be the best magician of all time. Like, there has to be something there, because you can't do that. You just can't fucking do that. And it's not fair that he can do that. There has to be a reason behind it. He has to be. It's just fucking ridiculous. It pisses me off, Frank. He pisses me off.
But dude, my favorite, I think probably my favorite trick from the lectures of the convention was Luke's magnetic knives.
Oh, okay.
He takes cutlery knife, like butter knives, does card locations with them and stuff, and then he magnetizes them to his hands. And then he's like moving his fingers, and they're fucking stuck there, and he's passing it from hand to hand, and they're fucking stuck there, and it's impromptu.
Wow. Fuck. Wow.
Yeah, because me and Katie were like, what is that trick? When he was performing it, we were both like, and we were sitting next to Daniel Mays, and we were all like, whoa, what the fuck is that? Thought it was going to be some sort of insane gimmick and method, but every one of us couldn't figure it out at all. Fully impromptu.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was ill. I mean, yeah. I think he finished his lecture like 20 minutes early, but he had an hour and a half spot anyway. So he went over an hour. We got more than enough.
Yeah. And he was ill. Fuck me.
Yeah, I know. He said he wasn't even going to do it.
That's a pro. That's a pro right there.
And the Piff show. Where the fuck to begin with that, man? What?
It was just complete and total fucking chaos. It was just chaos in the best possible way.
From start to finish, it was fucking mental. It starts off with a fucking movie fight scene of Piff as Piff the dragon kicking the shit out of people in a subway.
And that set the tone for the rest of the fucking thing. He came out. I don't know where the scripting ended and the ad libs begun. Yeah. Like the opening trick was like or one of the very first tricks that I remember was this card that
lofts into the deck.
And he got his the girl, I can't remember her name, I'm so sorry, his
Jada Simone, is it?
Yeah. To do the splits
on top of the deck, jump down into the splits, like, and then the card comes out of your mouth.
It's not under her anymore. It's just fucking ridiculous. It's just fucking ridiculous.
What I think we were lucky about was that he was doing a lot of work in progress stuff for the new show. He was testing stuff out, and everyone in that room got to see something they'd never see in a normal experience. They got to see him working new material, fucking things up, having fun with it, showing what happens when you forget a line and just rolling with it. And that was half a performance, half a like a lecture of what one of the best in the world does, in the sense of like, yo, this is how you handle it. This is what you do.
Yeah.
And I think people could learn more from that than they could in a lot of other parts.
Oh my God.
Like,
It was
brilliant.
dreadful.
Hilarious.
And how he dealt with the whole dog thing.
Oh my God.
So funny. And you know, if you weren't there, Ryland went up on stage. He needed a kid, and Ryland went up on stage, and he must have been on stage for about 15 minutes with Piff.
It was hilarious, dude. And part of the shtick is that like Piff acts like his audience members are fucking him over, and getting things wrong. And there was a point where he was like, oh, Ryland was doing something. He's like, no, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Oh. And he's like, you're just like your dad. He must be wrong. What the fuck? It was mental. He was like, he had Mark.
You know what was funny? You know that thing that he did on Ryland where he's getting him to read the cards, and he goes, I can't read, and blah 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 blah. Ryland, because obviously Ryland's got Piff's book, and he's read it from cover to cover. He's a huge Fifth Magic Dragon fan, and that trick was described in the book. And as soon as you read it, he's like, I'm going to do this. So Ryland's been doing that in his show for the last year. And then to go up on stage and have Piff do it on him was absolutely hilarious.
Video of that.
Huh?
You need to send Piff a video of that.
Yeah, I will do. I think I'll send it to him. It was just so funny, because Ryland knew exactly what he needed to say and do in that scenario.
It was the definition of just straight up not giving a fuck.
Oh, he didn't have a single fuck to give. He just and the show was incredible. I mean, he got a standing ovation, as you would expect. What a finale! You know, one of my favorite moments.
When I say he didn't give a fuck, it wasn't he was lazy. Like, part of his shtick is that he don't give a fuck. Hence, like when Penn and Teller in his first ever Fool Us, they start talking to him and he just starts eating a banana like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I mean...
I love the moment where he had that guy pick a card and it was the wrong card. It got somebody to name a card and just all the lights went down and that song was playing, you know, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the
That's the bit I remember most as well. Yeah, you thought like 7 people, like Andy Glavin, Joshua J, Morton Christensen, Jada Simone, walked up to this audience member. They all started shining a torch in his face. The lights go dark, and there was a song playing. What the fuck is wrong with you? What was it? Over and over for like a minute straight. It was like very X-Files feel. It was so strange.
It was so funny. I was there pissing myself laughing.
Brilliant.
It was so good. It was so fucking good. Marvin Burglass obviously got on stage. He just doesn't give a fuck. Like, he was taking the piss out of Marvin, but he was taking the piss out of fucking everybody. It was.
And then, dude, after the Piff lecture, I met up with one of my heroes, Angelo Carbone. And so, like, you can imagine, like, the style of magic that I create is very much leans on the work of Angelo Carbone.
You know what? I was at just before you say this. Every time I see you do the Vanishing Elephants, I keep thinking to myself, this is something Angelo would have created.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. So, but I've talked to him once or twice in passing. We've chatted on Messenger a few times. He's another one of those people that I absolutely brick myself when I see him, and I just go the other way because I can't. He's just on a pedestal. So, but we made sure to make time to sit down this weekend, and he showed me a couple of things. First of all, he showed me his new effect that's coming out this year, and that he's been working on for so long. And I got real experiences ever because, I don't want to say anything about it.
Is that the airplane though? Just say it's the airplane.
I don't want to say anything about it.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything about it. But I sat right in front of Angelo. He showed it to me. And it was real magic. I just watched it. And Kaylee was next to me too. We were both just silent. And he showed it to us again, and I had no fucking clue. Then he showed us the method. And we were just like, I was like, that's why, like, that's why. Yeah, I literally couldn't. Incredible. But then he did something that melted my fucking mind, dude. Or he broke a white whale for me. So I talked about how in the lecture with the Vanishing Elephant, as a kid, I'd seen this Vanishing Elephant trick that Siegfried, and I didn't know who it was. With toy elephant and playing cards. I'd been trying to track it down / learn it or replicate it ever since. Went to Liverpool to the Oracle Bar, saw one of the best performing magicians in the UK or ever. Man places a toy elephant down, does a routine, and then at some point during the routine, the toy elephant vanishes with sleight of hand. And I said, oh my fucking God, that's a white whale trick of mine. Like, and it just basically made me go off and start like obsessing about this thing again. Then I spoke to Alexander McAleer. I said, am I mental? Did I really see this toy elephant vanish with playing cards as a kid? And he linked me straight to it, Siegfried and Roy, 1994. And that sort of led to that progression of the vanishing elephant as it is right here, right? That tracking down of that clip from 1994. I have a handful of mental tricks of that I've been looking for. Well, one of these things that I saw when I was about 13, 14 years old was on the Magic Video Depot. There was a video of a playing card held by a magician between his thumb and middle finger, as if he's about to do a pirouette with the card. And he flicks the card spins 360 degrees around, right? Thumb still pinching the card in the center with his index finger, so there's no flaps, nothing. And the card visually changes, right? I saw that on the Magic Video Depot. Well, it would have been 20 plus years ago because it wasn't on YouTube, right? I was 14 years old. I'm pretty sure I was 14. Oh no, was it 2008? Angelo put it on YouTube, right? Just only a 30-second clip. What's he call it? There's a name for it. I can't remember the name. Like I said earlier, I'm bad with names. And at the time, I'd gone onto like magic forums. I was trying everything to find out how this trick works, right? As you do. Never learned. I had a rough idea of kind of the loose mechanics. So I was telling Andrew, I was like, one of the reasons why you're such a god to me is like, for like 2/3 of my entire life, I've been watching your tricks, and a lot of them I don't know how they work, and some of them are white whales in terms of like they are tricks that I think of quite a lot because of how unique they are. Like it wasn't just another flat color changing gimmick card; it was completely bright. Anyway, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that one. Oh, let me show you the method." After all my life, all my adult life, I was a teenager, my adult life, trying to see the method or learn it, and it did not work how I thought it worked. And it was so much better, so much more surefire, so much more fooling, and so much smarter. And right there and then he pulled the video up on his phone and showed me the method that I've been searching for since I was literally a teenager.
Wow.
And bucket list shit.
That's amazing.
Bucket list stuff.
Fuck.
Yeah, man. It was. I'm still like. I'm still like taken aback by it.
That's amazing. That's fucking amazing, man.
Yeah, it was just so. I don't know. This is the type of stuff at like magic conventions that's why we go.
Yeah.
Is what people can't, normal people in their day-to-day life, they don't understand what it is we love about magic or can't understand why we're so obsessed. It's those little moments there, it's hearing Eric Mead say he wanted to end that routine clean as opposed to the gimmick in hand and be like, oh, brilliant. Seeing like Morton's ideas.
You keep talking. I can hear you. I'm just needing to plug my laptop in. Keep going. I can hear you.
I think he's probably just. I think Sarah's on the other side of the screen holding a sandwich for him, and he's just leaning over like a brontosaurus and just taking bites out of the sandwich for him. But yeah, no, for me, it's all about those little moments. It's the moments between the cracks, or it's the moment between the bricks where if you say that the bricks are the lectures, and it's those little. It's one line in a lecture, or it's one part of a method, or something that you've been dreaming of or searching for decades, and finally someone shows you, or it's the first time you see something and it's the new obsession for the next 20 years of your life.
Yeah,
that's the reason why people have traveled from all over the world, spend hard-earned cash and miss time away from family to spend a weekend in an airport hotel and just creating real memories.
Yeah. Totally
Amazing.
agree with you. Yeah. Session smashed it out of the park. It really fucking did.
Mhm.
We should quickly talk about the dealer hall. You don't go to the session to go to the dealers. However, I do think this was the best dealer hall that I've seen.
I only got a chance to see 3 things. So can you run me through everything?
Okay, so the stuff that I saw that I thought was really good. So first of all,
James Keatley?
James Keatley was there doing his thing. Incredible. All of his shit is just so good.
He's the first trick in my video, in my session video that's gone up yesterday of the best tricks in the convention. He's the very first trick. He's one of my favorites.
He's incredible. He's incredible. James Keatley is somebody that when you go to a magic convention, you go and see him first because he's going to have something ridiculous. He's going to have something clever. He's going to have something that you can't get from anywhere else.
And it's all physical handheld, like gimmicks and stuff, not,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And he's put so much thought and effort into it. You had Sven from Vorsten Bosch and Green Lemon at the booth, and he has, and I filmed a video for him there to say this, and this is true. He had the best fucking chop cup that I've ever seen. Nobody is ever going to be able to create a chop cup that's better than this. So basically, it's this chop cup. He calls it like the utility cup or something because it's interchangeable. So it's made out of metal. You can get them in stainless steel. You can get them in aluminium, depending on how heavy you want it to be. The bottom unscrews, and you can make it whatever you want it to be. So you can put a magnet in there, but you can change the magnet strength depending on what you want the cup to be. And then when you screw it back in, now is the perfect strength of a chop cup magnet. Or you can take it out and you can put a different gimmick in, so it becomes like a slot box in a cup. So you can do like really cool coin manipulation using the cup as a slot box. You can take it out, you can turn it into a rattle box in a cup. So if you do like the Rudy cup, the Rudy cup stuff, you can do that sort of thing with it. You can change the outside color and you can have different sleeves. You can get a solid cup finale that will fit into it and build into it that is just pure solid. And that's the thing he was demonstrating, where he's got this cup, he's taking this ball, he's putting it under the cup, it's vanishing, it's reappearing, it's doing all of this crazy stuff, and then you have them pick up the cup and it's solid as a rock. And it's
and it's heavy. It's 2.5 kilograms of weight, and there's no mouth on the cup. It's just a piece of metal essentially.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So it's like the Shiego Teagi solid cup, but even better.
But it's heavy as shit. Well, so Sven's company is called Vorsten Bosch.
Yeah,
they've been running for a couple. Me and Sven go back years and years and years. His family are the upholsterers for the royal family.
Wow.
So everything they do is of literally royal family quality. Like they are the best made props in the world. And if you see his stuff, you're not good. I hate to be hyperbolic, but it literally is like some of the best made quality materials in the entire fucking world when it comes to leathercraft and chop cups and things. And so this whole new system that he's got is it's called the hybrid system. And it's basically you can, like Craig said, you can make your chop cup be anything you want, but it doesn't look like it's something that's modular. So whatever the thing you decide you want it to be, that's how it looks fully finished. You also customize like the choice of colors of like the leather band that goes around the leather sleeve or jacket that goes around your chop cups, and all that can be interchangeable with your whole close-up pads and all your other things. Policy you want to go to see his premium magic store in the Netherlands because it's all like mahogany, smooth built wood and handcrafted, like everything about it. Kind of like if Ollivander's was a real magic shop, it would be Vorsten Bosch. Yeah, their whole system is like absolute game changer, man.
Yep. That was.
It's in my video. The reaction to Darren Close seeing it is in my video.
Yeah, you had to go see Lloyd.
It was fully solid at first.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. And Ryland got himself one of those because he does chop up a lot. So he got the whole system.
What's the Luke Osland thing? Because Luke briefly told me about it, but you got ahead and pre-ordered it too, right?
Yeah, so Luke had 2 things out and I got both of them. So the first thing is, and he's launching it officially at Blackpool, is this thing called the Drink Act. And it's incredible. So you get 4 menus with it. 4 like you know, like when you go into a bar and you've got like drinks menus, long, thin, cardboardy things with lots of drinks in there, like cocktails and spirits and beer and stuff. So it's designed for a stage performer. He hands 3 of these menus out to 3 members of the audience, and he says, "Look, you think of any cocktail, you think of any beer, you think of any beer," and he's got the last one for himself, which he's showing as he's explaining what to do. So they're all thinking, just purely thinking of a drink, and he's like, "Right, we're going to start with you." And imagine a tossed out deck, but with drinks. So he says, "We're going to start with you," and he takes his menu and he goes, "Watch this. What were you thinking of?" And they go, "Peroni," and he pulls the menu away. Now he's got a real full bottle of Peroni. And he puts it down on the table and he goes, "Right, what were you thinking of?" And they go, "Budweiser." And he goes, "Phew." And now he's got a bottle of Budweiser. And then he goes to the third person. He goes, "What were you thinking of?" And let's say they say, sex on a beach or whatever. And he goes, "Phew." And he's got a can of Pepsi Max. And he goes, "Ah, fuck." And then he opens up a glass and he pours out the Pepsi, but it's now a cocktail. And it's the cocktail they're thinking of. And it's
Luke Ozon is a Edinburgh Fringe. He has a theatre show. He's a proper on stage. One of these people that just does.
This was directly out of his act. This is directly out of his act.
It's not like something some kids made up and just started shelling out. Like this is like he does this over and over and over and works on real crowds.
Directly out of his act. And talk about pack small, plays big. You can get the bottles from a venue or you can prep them ahead of time. It's just a couple of bottles and a can, and these menus take up no space and you've got like a 10-minute act. It's fucking incredible. And then the other thing that he had, which he's done in conjunction with Thomas More. If you don't know who Thomas More is, he's probably one of the best illusion builders in the world. He is responsible for about 1/3 of Ryland's illusion show. He's brought out probably the best borrowed phone to impossible location I've ever seen for a stage performer. So the idea is that there's this stand on stage and there's a cloth over it so you don't know what's under there. And at some point he gets somebody up on stage and they bring their phone and he puts it in a handkerchief and he gets them to hold onto it through the handkerchief. He then brings out a bucket of water. And he says, "Right, I've been working on this levitating phone. I'm so confident it's going to work. I'm going to have you hold the phone over the bucket, and we're going to count you down. And when we get to the end of the countdown, you're going to let go of your phone over the bucket of water, and we're going to be absolutely fine. It's going to levitate. It's not going to go wrong. Obviously, if your phone does land in the water, we're going to have problems. But don't worry, because over here," and he pulls the cloth off this thing that's been on stage the whole time, "I've got some rice, because everyone knows if it gets wet, rice will fix it." And he's got this on this stand, hanging off this stand is a plexiglass container full of fucking rice. So he's like, "Right, okay, let's do this." So he's holding the phone over the bucket and he's like, "Right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he lets go, the guy lets go of the phone, or the woman gets out of the phone, the assistant lets go of the phone. And you hear a splash. And then he goes, "Oh, fuck, oh, shit." So yeah. And then he goes, "Well, hang on, do you see your phone?" And now they look in the thing and the phone's like, they heard it splashing. They heard
that
it.
That's genius.
Oh, it really is. But now there's no fucking phone there. He's got, "I don't know what's happened to your phone. Can somebody call it?" So he gets somebody to call their phone. And then over at the container of rice, you just see it glowing and you hear this music coming from it, whatever their phone signal is. And he goes, "Hang on a minute. Now, underneath this whole thing, there's like a bowl." So he pulls out this cork and all of the rice comes flooding out into the bowl. And as it does, you see that inside this plexiglass case, there's another see-through case wrapped up with like a bazillion rubber bands. And inside there is their phone ringing. And he's like, "You take it off the clip yourself. You open it up. You reach in. You take out the other box. You take the elastic bands off. You reach in. Is that your phone?" Fucking incredible.
Imagine, to be able to take that and put it into your act.
And it's designed to fly on. Luke does it in his show where he's flying onto cruises. So it's designed to just literally fit into some hand luggage.
Wow. Yeah, and Luke's a super creative genius too.
Yes, he is. Well, we all know what he did as a kid when he was like creating some of the most insane close-up visual magic ever. And then one day he thought, "Fuck it, I'm going to be a performer." And then he bossed that as well. Like, it's just talk about overachiever. He goes.
Yeah.
But that was a highlight for me. And immediately I was like, "Yep, I think I will have one of those. That is right up my street. So that was great. My friend who I've put through college, I've put his kids through college, I think, at this point, Phil Smith. The amount of money I've spent with that motherfucker. Phil Smith has got 2 tricks out. This one, he fooled me with completely. This has just come out. I'm learning this at the moment. Stegosaurus Pro. It's basically designed to look like a word game. Well, jumbled. It's designed to look like a word game. So you have all of these different cards with different letters on, and then you've got all of these cards with different words on, and it's an actual game that you can play. But he can do this 3-phase routine with these where he's able to tell people the words that they're thinking of. It's really smart. So he got that. And then I know you love astrology. I don't know.
Do you feel like I have something to do with astrology? As you said that, I'm looking at the word astrology on my screen.
Jung Star. I don't know anything about it. He said, this is one of my favorite things that I've come up with. It's by Phil Smith, and it is, as it says, a zodiac divination with an incredible, completely invisible method. Jung Star is a collaboration between Alex Ward and Phil Smith that blends psychology with elegant mentalism. At its heart, it's a Jung-inspired personality test, beautifully rendered with exquisite artwork that allows you to lead someone to a moment of self-discovery, only to reveal with impossible accuracy their star sign, even though they've never mentioned it, never wrote it down, never told it to you. Simple to perform, strikingly personal, and unlike anything your audience has experienced before.
What? How does this? Do you
Don't know. It's still in the thing. I was going to go back and have him show it me, because I just kind of Phil is one of those people that I just buy his stuff sight unseen.
Yeah, brilliant.
So I was like, "What have you got? What's new? Give it me. I don't need to see it." But he did demo this, and then someone came over, and I said, "I'll come back to see this later," and I never went back, unfortunately. Wow. Star sign divinations. Magic Dream were there. The boys from Magic Dream. Yeah, they were there, and they were doing all of their shtick. They had their Map Plus, their the LED system, the mentalism system, and a bunch of other stuff. They shot. Oh, he's got a trick coming out of Blackpool, Lloyd. That's fucking incredible. He's got a trick coming out of Blackpool that's incredible.
What is it?
Joanne Tajuni. Imagine, it's not the sort of thing that you would do, but if you're a kids entertainer or if you're a family entertainer and you want to do something at a close-up gig for kids, oh my God. It's a colouring book basically built into a deck of cards. So he brings out this deck of cards and it's double blank. He shows them completely. They're double blank. He then takes the top card and he draws something on it. Like, let's say he draws a flower. So he draws the flower and he puts it on the top of the deck. So they've seen all the cards are blank. Now there's a drawing of a flower that he's done. And he does this. And now he shows all of the cards, and every single card has got a different drawing on. Every single one has got a different drawing on. So he's made all of these drawings appear, lots of different drawings on all of these cards. And then he takes the flower and he goes, watch this. And he blows, and now the flower colours in. And then he puts it on the face of the thing and he goes, watch. And now when he goes through and shows all of the cards, now every single one of those drawings is coloured in as well. And so they've all coloured in. It's like a colouring in book, but with a deck of cards for close-up magicians.
Wow. Do you know, one of the things I've seen was, and basically there's this thing that's going to make a lot of other apps obsolete.
Okay.
It's called Mentix by it's on dv-magic.com by Mark Super and Philo.
Yeah.
Philo. And what this is, and so I don't know about you, but I use, for searching for stuff, I use ChatGPT a lot more than Google now.
Yeah, actually, yeah. In fact, I'm spending a lot of time and effort within my company as a business owner. You know, we've always focused on SEO because we want to be in the page one of Google, and we're still focusing on SEO. But now we're doing SEO for ChatGPT. So we're trying to make it so that when somebody types in, who would you recommend as a magician? It comes up with my company. Who would you recommend as a kids entertainment? It comes up with my company. So we're really trying to, and that's the big thing that business owners are trying to do at the moment. You know, it's great being at the top of Google, but it's even better if you can be recommended by ChatGPT.
So right, and almost everyone I know almost everyone I can think of are adopting and adapting to ChatGPT. Because it's so simple, right? I need to do my digital ID. I don't want to do I don't want a government one ID. I'll never get one, but I have to verify my ID for my accounts for my company. So the way to do it without getting a digital ID is to go to the post office and do that. This time last year, I would have used Google to ask about what the to find the information page. But today I just used ChatGPT to be like, what do I need to take with me to the post office to verify my ID? Right? I use it for all these things that I would normally use Google for. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to think that someone's going to make a ChatGPT effect, right? And I've seen ChatGPT basic effects. What this Mentix thing can do and does is a new standard in magic. Okay, basically, you can have it do. First thing he showed me was, he was like, "I'm gonna force Paris on you." Okay, so Lloyd, name a number between 1 and 100. I said 76. He said, "Okay." He opens up ChatGPT and he says, "Hey, ChatGPT, give me a list of 100 cities in the world." 76 was Paris. Right? Because ChatGPT is great at generating lists. It's fucking phenomenal at generating lists. So now you can use it to force things within lists. Next thing you can do is if you have someone you could say to someone, search for something, anything in ChatGPT, and you can and with that as well, they can ask questions related to that thing as opposed to just searching for it. Now you can pick that information, and you can also use it to input information, not just within lists or anything else. So if you were like, if you knew that somebody had picked the 3 of clubs, you could say, "Hey, ChatGPT, do you know anything to do with personality tests?" And this is actually using the real ChatGPT, right? So it can say, "Yeah, I can give you a personality test," and it can go through these things. And it's like, based on your personality, would you like me to try and guess what type of card you would think of, or what type of drink you like to drink? Whatever it is you want to force or reveal, you can now do that too. That plus a whole load of other shit. It literally legit just looks like ChatGPT, like full on 100%. It also has it can do the talking voice thing as well. Like, "Hey, let's have a conversation." It's gonna make a lot of things redundant out there.
Wow. That's
And the reason I'm giving it such high praise is because I've seen attempts at people replicating like GPTs or AI apps in the past and stuff, and they don't look like them. They don't work very well. This thing had me legitimately fooled.
wow.
Deep critical list generation stuff and the word peak and the word reel, like those are the 3 quick things that that Philo showed me, and it was like, oh my god. And then I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? I can use this for like, what the fuck? It was scary. Apparently, it was put out a couple of months ago, and nobody really. I don't think they've marketed it very well at all. Like, I don't think they've done. I said this in the last episode. Oftentimes, the best tricks that are released go totally under the radar because they do a good enough job of promoting it. Some people don't like promoting their stuff because they feel like and that's fair enough. I get that approach. But dv-magic.com, and there's Mentix, MENTYX.
I'm even going there now.
Mm-hmm.
ev-magic.com.
So D for director, V for Virginia -magic.com, and it's called Mentix. So MEN like mental, but MENTYX.
Mentiac, the future of magic. The future of magic. And there's a whole bunch of other shit on here as well. That's cool. Awesome. I'll have a look.
Oh yeah, it talks to all the other apps. It talks to fucking everything.
Of course it does. That's brilliant. Yeah. I'll look at that later. That's great. Awesome. I mean, other dealer stands, iArval were there. They had some of their new stuff, which was very, very cool. They were promoting their new table that they brought out at FISM. What else was there? I'm trying to. James Anthony was there with some sort of app. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see it. He was rammed every time I went over.
Oh, I know. I felt really bad because it needed Wi-Fi, and he was fucking stood in a dead. His stand was on a dead zone.
Oh, that's a shame.
I know.
Uh,
So, fuck.
It's a real shame. Chris Cross was there. Big shout out to Chris Cross in terms of his convention. His convention is coming up in April.
Is it in April?
Yeah.
I was meant to go to one before. I think I want to go.
Dude, the lineup that he's got for this year's convention is insane.
When is it? Sorry, look, who is it? Who are they?
Hang on. I've got a flyer in there, but let me see if I can get it. This is an insane lineup. It really is. He was there doing all of his secondhand stuff because obviously he does an awful lot of that. As you know, I'm just trying to. While I'm looking, you have you got anything else to talk about the session?
Well, James Keatley's stuff blew me away as always. I think if anyone's going to Blackpool this year, get to his stand first because what I like about Keatley is that he makes really well, super clever physical props. He had a bunch of incredible stuff using credit cards. So some really visual magic that uses credit cards, which is perfect because you can use them anywhere. Not as many people carry cash as they do cards or coins these days. And James has really tapped in some intelligent thinking and some really creative concepts to do with those. So James was showing me some of the work with that. He was showing me some secret prototypes he's been working on as well. So that was one of the dealers that always impresses me. And this time, So
okay. I've got the thing. It's a 3-day convention, 17th to 19th of April. And there's 2 evening gala shows. And then on the Sunday, there's a super special kids show. And there's tons of lecturers, tons of dealers. But here's the lineup of this isn't all of the lecturers, but these are some of the lecturers. Chris Cross, Professor Richard Wiseman.
No.
Simon South, Quentin Reynolds, Luke Jamay, the Oberons, Mark Oberon and his partner doing their full show.
What?
Oliver Tabor, one of the best manipulators in the world. Me.
Oh, fuck.
Exactly, fuck that. And on the gala show, you've got people like Oliver Tabor. They've got Magic and Mischief, Ryland and Thea, doing their illusion show on the gala show. Yeah. You got the Oberons in the gala show. Luke Jamay is doing the gala show. You got it's the names they've got, and that's not the full list. The names they've got are ridiculous. For a convention no one's talking about. Just Luke Jamay, Oliver Tabor, the Oberons, Professor Richard Wiseman.
What the fuck? Apparently Richard Wiseman and Luke Jamay was saying they do this like little like tiny convention for like 20 people, but you have like basically like 3-day workshop with like 3 big magicians. So it's Morten Christensen, Richard Wiseman, and David Ben this year. It's in Germany. It's called The Gathering. You go to thegathering.de, I think it is. But it's like it's only for like elite people like who are serious about magic. And apparently Richard Wiseman's there. He's gonna do his theater. He's gonna do his act with his partner, I believe, his wife. And it's an act that they do it, and then they do it again in the dark with infrared.
Wow.
Something mental like that. Or it's all in the dark with infrared, because he's a science-based sort of type magician. Yeah. I was like, oh fuck, that sounds good. So I'm guessing he might be doing something like that.
That sounds awesome.
It does. It does sound
So,
really good.
yeah, I mean, that convention's, is going to be amazing. But, congratulations to Josh and Andy. I mean, basically, I genuinely think this is the best session that I've been to. And I've been to a lot of them. This is
I'm biased because I was part of it, but in recent memory, just for everything other than, and I didn't really enjoy lecture. I'm not a lecturer, but yeah, I think it's up there.
The quality of the lectures, what they were doing for the youth, what they were doing for the, like the mesmerizer stuff, the actual location, the sessioning, the stuff that was got, just everything. It ticked every single box. It's exactly what it should be. It was brilliant. It was great. It was just great.
I really don't know how they would improve it. I think.
Also, I can say I thought that the staging and the way they did the tech, with the big massive screen, so much better than what they did in the Red, where they had 2 screens on either side. I just think that
There's just more screens at the back of the room, the sides of the room, all over. Do you know, the only thing I think they could improve is slightly would be to angle up the audience somehow so that the chairs, so you're not level, somehow maybe tiered seating if there was. I don't know if that's a possibility though, because it would be a bit of a military operation. But if they could,
I'm sure there's a way to do it. All Andy needs to do is just dip into the millions. He's probably got enough to buy some tiered seating down the bottom of his couch. Just reach down the back of his couch, pull out $100,000, get some tiered seating struts, and get.
Gladwin jerks off into $100 bills. Do you know?
Fucking does. He does.
Right, we'll do that, and then we'll just give them some slabs of wood put under their chairs and.
Exactly.
Say, just fucking, you're so rich, you could just buy everyone a Periscope. Nah, it's phenomenal. I didn't want to add in more dealers day, like more days of dealer, because the dealers on the day.
I actually quite like the session that
but then when you lose it, sort of,
I think I like it the way it is. Just one day of deal. I thought the dealer room was better than ever before. I thought that there was a lot of really good dealers there. I thought that, and speaking to them, I think a lot of them did really well. I think you're going to be seeing them again next year. So
one thing that was great, this year they give you a free book with some tricks in it, and a free deck of cards and a free metal card clip.
And that card clip is really nice.
Yeah.
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 It's got.
You let ready to go straight from the moment you walk in.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really, really good. I can't really say anything negative. I really can't. It's brilliant. Definitely. If you didn't come this year, then go to next year. But now we move on to Blackpool. The session is done. Well, for our international listeners, that they're going to be doing the same thing.
I have a fucking goal. I have a challenge to Andy Gladwin. I know he listens to this.
Go on.
I shouldn't have said he jerks off.
You say this shit, and then afterwards you begin to realise that the people were saying it about. Listen,
I have like white whale lecturers. Paul Harris is one of them. And another one is Teller. If they can get Teller in.
If anybody could get Teller, it's him. And they need to hurry because that guy's going to die soon. Every time I see him, he looks ill. He looks really ill.
Dude, he's looked ill since the 70s, man. He generally...
He looks even more ill now. I'm fairly sure they're propping him up on stage. I think there's something about, like, Piff going and doing a show with Pop. With Penn Jillette. I think he's doing that because Penn's looking for a new meal ticket. I think that I think Penn is sitting there going, look, just sitting watching Teller going, you're fucking dead soon, mate. I need to go. I don't want to stop performing. I need to come up with another option. Yeah, I need to come up with another option because I can't do this shit on my own. I need to lean on someone that's got magical talent. Who am I going to fucking go to? I know. Piff, how you doing? What do you think about doing a show? I don't think Teller's. No, I'm joking. Obviously, he's not going to die anytime soon.
But he does come to Best of Honor. I don't want to just hear him. I don't want to hear him talk. I want to learn some tricks off him. I want to learn some fucking tricks. Look at me. I'm adding now my rule set if he's allowed to come and lecture. Hey, don't get up. Just, you know what, Cleb, you are.
You know what else Andy needs to do? Do you know who the headlining guest of honor is at Magi Fest next week? Because next week, Vanishing Inc. are doing it again. They're doing Magi Fest in Columbus, Ohio.
Time.
It's like a week or a week and a half. Because I was speaking to Tim Hill. I'm like, you can have a rest now. He's like, no, it's all systems go now to Magi Fest in like a week or two's time. So they're like full on with Magi Fest. But do you know who the guest of honor is at Magi Fest?
Don't say Teller. Bill Malone.
Yeah, Bill Malone, man.
Oh.
We want Bill Malone. Why did the Americans get Bill Malone? We want Bill Malone.
Yeah,
bring him over here. We want Bill Malone.
Who was at Magi Fest?
I'll tell you. Because we do have a lot of international listeners. So I'll just quickly break down. Here you go. Are you ready? Magi Fest. Here's who we got. Guest of honor, Bill Malone. Daniel Garcia.
Oh, fuck.
John Dorenbos. Do you know that guy? He's the guy that did the quantum deck on Ellen.
Yeah.
He was an NFL superstar, and yeah, he's really good. John Dorenbos. Taylor Hughes, who obviously we just had over in the UK.
Bastard's getting to do both.
Yeah, I know, what a twat.
What the fuck?
I've never been asked to do Magi Fest. No, I did. My ship sailed. I did fucking session just because Andy was desperate 3 years ago. I'm never going to make it.
First thing Sunday morning, get in to have his bucket list. Oh, Lloyd's happy now. Bucket list and fuck off, Lloyd Barnes.
Exactly. Helga Fun. Do you know Helga Fun?
Yeah.
Germany's knuckle busting coin
material.
Yeah. Alex Hilsey.
Oh, have you seen Alex's busking work?
No.
Fucking unreal. I watched a video performance of her the other day, doing her chop cup routine.
Yeah.
And there are some moments in there where I literally had no clue. I was like, well,
Wow.
I have no fucking idea what's going on.
Then you've got Alex
Lillian.
Yeah. Then Ruben Moreland.
I feel like I think might be one of the highlights of the entire event. And Ruben Moreland's going to be the star.
Yeah. Henry Harrius. Who is
You joke about Ruben Moreland, sorry, that he was Bill Malone's son.
Yeah, I remember that.
And now they're in the same convention together.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Maybe he did come out of his balls.
It could have.
Or a set of Magi festivals to come out of. Henry Harrius.
Henry. Marcus Monroe, juggler from New York. So stand-up comedian and juggler. Eric Mead. They've got Eric Mead.
That's unfair. They get him as well.
Yeah, they get Eric Mead. The Magic Duo, Jacob Greenwald, Danny Winter, and Charlie Phillips, collectively known as the Duo, even though there's three of them. They're redefining modern magic. They studied under Assy Wind.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It'll be great then.
Pete McCabe, who obviously is the goat.
So he's doing both. Okay. Oh, now I get it.
Yeah. I think the only ones that aren't doing both. I'm just saying.
Everyone's going back.
Hey, at least you got fucking invited to go and do the session. I just got fucking begged because they literally had no option.
You were filler. You were
I am. I was literally a filler. Michael Blomek, who I don't know, but it's apparently a FISM award. Yeah. Creative hilarious cups and balls routine, which includes 3 cups, 3 balls, and 2 claws.
Yes.
Felice Ling, Street Magic finalist in 2025 at FISM.
Street Magic finalist.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that sounds great. Jason Latimer, the fucking man. He's the man.
Wow.
Jason Bishop, America's premier magician, past recipient of the Jack Gwynn Award for Excellence in Prestidigitation, Modern Illusions, Humor, High Energy Storytelling. Sounds amazing.
Also, that photo is sick. Him just like sitting there. That's a great shot.
Yeah, it really is. And Raphael Schoutlen, 2-time Dutch champion of magic. Theatrical artistry, Europe's top cabaret stages. Wow. I mean, how cool is that? And obviously you can stream it from home. And they have a dealer hall the entire time over there.
That see a workshop as well.
We're doing a workshop with Daniel Garcia. Wow. I mean,
I see how it is. They're fine. Okay, cool.
Huh?
Fine. They booked everyone except me. It's fine. They don't want to go anyway. They don't want to go anyway.
Well, you know, it's at least you got fucking booked for the session and you weren't desperation. You weren't fucking like
the sessions be my thing, like my whole fucking adult life. I started with the session. Where I want to go.
Exactly.
So, you know, I'm over it already, to be honest with you.
Huge bucket list.
Shame. Yeah.
Andy, if you're listening to this, you're making Lloyd sad. Why is he not? There's still time. There's still time. You can have it.
No, Craig, that ship has sailed. Time's gone. No wonder nobody wanted to mention the words Magi Fest around me. They didn't want me to see.
That's because all the other
Lloyd's the console after the convention because he struck so high and so many fucking people.
Literally everybody is doing it that was at the session other than you.
Yeah. Even fucking Eric Mead. Eric Mead, you know?
Fuck that guy.
I would. If I could if I could like a vampire, you know, if I could like steal his like abilities, but I had to smash.
Yeah, you know what the problem is, mate? Unfortunately, talent isn't sexually transmitted.
But this is apparently. I don't know who from.
Well, it's what happens when you put you and Kaylee in a hotel room without kids.
Hey, I plead the fifth. Keep spirit, man. I ain't saying shit.
Anything else you want to talk about? It's like we've been doing this for 3 hours.
I want to get off. I'm starving. I want a bacon roll.
You want a bacon roll?
Bacon roll, yeah.
Bacon roll.
Oh, I know a really good bacon roll spot at the seafront. I'm gonna go get a bacon roll. I'm gonna add extra cholesterol helpings of butter on it.
You deserved it after the session. You fucking deserve it. So,
Thanks, man. I'd like to be the biggest mascot and champion. I swear to God, right? There were people coming up, like Noel Coulter will pass me. The Noel Coulter. Again, he's another one of those people that I'm literally too scared to have much of a conversation with. He was stood next to me on one in Christian's lecture, I think it was. And I was like, oh wow, dude, fucking congrats on and on eject, like it's amazing. And I just stood there awkwardly for a few minutes, like, oh god, it's not Coulter, it's not fucking Coulter. so, but he came up to me, he was like, I've got up early just because Craig Petty has told me I fucking have to come.
Yes, I've been spending.
I had that off like 20 different people. So I don't know whether you told them it was going to be good or you physically threatened them. Either way, thank you. I appreciate you, man. But I genuinely had like 20 people come
and the proof of the pudding isn't in the fact that you went and did it. It isn't in the standing ovation. It's the fact
that they haven't asked me back to Magi Fest.
Well, yeah, I mean, fuck, they've made a mistake and they know it. Fuck Andy Gladwin. You know, fuck Andy Gladwin. Fuck Joshua J. You know, they don't fucking. You know, that's the problem with people like you and me. I don't even get invited to the session. I'm a sloppy second. I get like, oh, you know, we're desperate. What should we do? Well, I suppose we could get Craig Petty. And with you, they're just like, oh, you know, we've got a spot to fill. Let's get them at the session. You know, should we get them at Magi Fest? Fuck no.
We got the women quota. We got the youth quota. We don't have any Welsh here apart from, well, James Wend and Matt on the things, but we don't have, you know, Welsh contingent. So let's get a fucking, you know,
that's what it is.
Jagger in.
But the bottom line is, despite the fact that they have absolutely no respect for you at all, Lloyd, despite the fact that Andy and Josh...
And that's fun. They're basically just spitting in my face.
Yeah, they are. Despite the fact that, you know, they think you're so shit. And they probably booked you because they were having a bet about how hard you'd bomb on stage. And you know, they just thought it'd be funny. It's like
So what happened? They were like, we need someone that's creative, someone that's good, someone that the kids will like, and someone that everybody knows. Like,
but Daniel Garcia,
Johnny Garcia can't get over to the UK, so fuck her.
But all of that, the fact that your lecture was amazing is the fact that you sold out of everything in 30 minutes. And you literally got mobbed. Kaylee almost got mobbed. If it wasn't for Super Elston walking in and stepping in and saving the day, your wife would have collapsed under a sea of magicians. So, you know, that shows how good your lecture was. People wanted to spend money on and it wasn't because they wanted to learn the method. You went through the method. They saw the trick, they learnt the method, and then they still wanted to buy it because they were like, no, I want to fucking do that. I'm going to pay the money. And it's not cheap. It can't be because it takes you so fucking long to make each one. And yet people wanted to spend their money during an economic crisis in 30 minutes, even though they knew the method. That tells you everything you need to know.
That's really kind. Thank you very much, man. And shameless self-promotion, if you would like to get a Vanishing Elephant, we are working on the first batch that goes out in early February. Pre-orders are open now, Lloyd.tv.
And he's
LYD.tv. Lima, Osco, Yellow, Dickhead.tv.
And I have one. I'm excited. I'm going to be showing everyone my elephant. Well, actually, Ryland's got one, but I'll pull it off.
You have his 2 pockets out.
Exactly. But with that in mind, Lloyd's got a bacon sandwich that he needs to go and eat, and I've got a fucking business to run. So we're going to wrap this up now, but we'll be back next Wednesday with another magic podcast where we'll be dissecting probably.
We haven't mentioned Donati's bollocks, so
she's died. There's the bingo card.
I need to mention the Shark Traeger came to the convention. One of my favorite humans in history. Shark came along. Well, that was one of the highlights. Just seeing him turn up and spending time with him. I haven't seen him for ages.
It's amazing. It's such a great guy.
There's so many people I know I'd forgotten to bring up, but I was just happy to see and be around. But a massive shout out to Shark for coming along.
Absolutely.
Love that guy. Okay. Yeah, let's just go. Let's go. I'm not
Completely agree. Yeah, you go get a bacon sandwich. Wrap it up, mate.
I'll put some topical ointment on my cold sore. How's that for a Monday morning?
You need to fucking put something on that fucker. It's going to be a second head if you're not careful. Wrap it up.
Have a shit week, cunts, and don't fuck kids.
Absolutely. See it, kid? Don't fuck it. We'll be back again next week.
Why did you objectify it by calling it it?
I was
That kid, don't fuck it.
Could be a boy or a girl. I was just trying to don't fuck. If I'd said don't fuck him, it would have been what?
Don't fuck kids. Don't buy the Ted Karmalovich books. Don't use the Magic Cafe.
That kind of sums it up really well. Yeah, fuck Steve Brooks. We'll be back next week. Thank you so much for what. Oh, we haven't been cancelled at this point. I think we're fucking bulletproof.
Oh, I think we have. Someone told me that someone, Alex made a thread. This guy who Alex we're going to Mexico with to lecture for in October. Me and you. Yeah. He made a thread reviewing my lecture pack, and it very quietly got removed.
Yeah, but we've still got accounts. Like, I don't fucking understand it. At this point, we could turn around and say, Steve Brooks, that Jabba the Hutt fucking looking motherfucker with all the wit, charm, brains, and intelligence of an Alsatian dog after a head swap operation. He's the person that's fucking single-handedly operating a website that enables pedophiles, and he doesn't give a fuck. I could say that, and I'd still have an account.
Well,
we're about to find out.
We're about to find out. He's gonna be like, yeah, you're Craig. Well, yeah, probably.
No.
Not in your.
I wouldn't promote fucking me. I'm too old.
Thing is, right? Just to reiterate with the Magic Cafe, in case anyone wondering what the hell we're going on about, there's a paedophile that went to prison for 5 years. His name is Ted Karmalovich. Spent 5 years in prison for fucking kids.
And he was a teacher, and the kid was his student.
Yeah, 15-year-old for 7 months. He was fucking a 15-year-old. It's disgusting. Not even a sign of the times type of situation either, because he spent 5 years in prison for it. He has a book set out, and the Magic Cafe, people are commenting on the Magic Cafe, which is known for being one of the most volatile, hostile, horrible places that you can go to really get your stuff knocked out of you confidence-wise. A hotbed for bullying within Magic, basically.
Yep.
Any mention of this guy's conviction gets instantly removed. So you can be as horrible to people, bully people as much as you want on there, but if you mention this guy's sexual conviction against children for being a pedophile, that gets removed, but you're allowed to openly talk about his book. So they want you to buy his product, even if you've been a victim of sexual abuse as a child yourself or in any way, shape, or form. You could accidentally buy his product based off the censorship of all the information about him without knowing, and it's just abhorrent. So yeah, the admins are actively removing any post that mentions this guy's a pedophile, but they're letting any other post about him remain.
And then they say that the reason that is, they made a statement, is because they don't want to foster a environment where like there's like a chance that people are getting attacked. Hello, go look up on the Magic Cafe, motherfucker. And where was the attitude when I was getting fucking destroyed?
Go to the Magic Cafe, bring your gum shield.
Yep.
They can't pretend that isn't the Magic Cafe. Fantastic place for research, fantastic place to get bullied. You can't have one.
I know there's people that have dropped out of Magic, completely dropped out.
I can literally name 3 off the top of my head without thinking.
Because of the Magic Cafe.
But if you fuck kids,
full-on protection.
The admins will give you absolute impunity on there and full protection. Yeah.
And as the jerk said, that's what I should have done with Red. I should have just gone and fucked Steve Brooks' mom.
Son or daughter.
Yeah. Because then they don't want to talk about sex in general. Anything to do with sex. So if I fucked his mom, I'd still be safe.
Oh, is it? Right. Oh, my God.
We're making light of it in a way, but it is very fucking serious.
Yeah, censorship of anybody's paedophilic crimes is this is why I say it's equally as bad.
Yeah.
If you enable someone and actively encourage that, because it's encouraging the behavior, right? Hey, if you do this, we won't mention it. We'll let you keep your reputation within the magic and mentalism industry intact.
Yes.
As far as we're concerned, we'll cover it up. If you're doing that, then there's already. I'm not saying these guys are nonsense, but it doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to think, well, why are they protecting the pedophiles? Only
And that is why one of the strap lines of the Magic podcast is "Don't fuck kids." That wasn't us that made that. That was the listeners.
that was the community.
Yep. Don't fuck kids.
Not about kids.
But with that in mind, he's got a bacon sandwich. I've got actual work to do. You can all fuck off. We'll see you again next week. Have a shit week. Don't fuck kids. I'm Craig.
I'm Lloyd.
Thanks very much for watching. We're going to see you again soon. Now fuck
I'm
off.
gonna hate every second of it. Just like Ted Karmalovich's victims.
From that.
We apologize for disrupting your normal daily schedule. You may now relax, tuck your deck back in, and resume your regular day-to-day life. Remember to subscribe to be notified the moment each new episode goes live every Wednesday. And join our Facebook group to continue the conversation. The link is in the description to this podcast. Thank you for listening to The Magic Podcast.